Take a chance, in a trance, painted red, what a romance. Take a chance, one glance, painted blue, end up with a rain dance. Just a bit stronger, an honor and a monster. Yeah, I gotta say I want this longer. Can't find this anywhere, constant calm inside, yeah. Waves above stand by, yeah. Feeling calm inside, yeah. Won't find us anywhere, constant calm inside, yeah. Waves above stand by, yeah. Feeling calm inside, yeah. Can't find us anywhere, anywhere. Yeah, I want this longer. Won't find this anywhere, anywhere. How I've always wondered. Yeah, I want this longer. Won't find this anywhere. How I've always wondered. Took a chance, in a trance, painted red, where's the romance? Took a chance, one glance, painted blue, ended on a rain dance. Now a bit stronger, not alone with a monster. Yeah, I gotta say I want this summer. Can't find this anywhere, constant calm inside, yeah. Waves above stand by, yeah. Feeling calm inside, yeah. Won't find us anywhere, constant calm inside, yeah. Waves above stand by, yeah. Feeling calm inside, yeah. Can't find us anywhere, anywhere. Yeah, I want this longer. Won't find this anywhere, anywhere. How I've always wondered. Yeah, I want this longer. Won't find this anywhere. How I've always wondered. Constant calm inside, yeah. Waves above stand by, yeah. Feeling calm inside, yeah. Feeling calm inside, yeah. Constant calm inside, yeah. Waves above stand by, yeah. Feeling calm inside, yeah. Feeling calm inside, yeah. Constant calm inside, yeah. Waves above stand by, yeah. Feeling calm inside, yeah. Feeling calm inside, yeah. backward and over again. I'm jumping rules, so you don't have to. Making you smile as long as I can. Storm clouds are coming, and it's best if you prepare. If we get tomorrow, promise I can try. Give you love to borrow, just to get us by. And sometime when you're ready, soften up the blow. Our love was never made to last. I don't wanna give you back to hold on to. Just to get us by. Sometime when you're ready, I'll soften up the blow. Our love was never made to last, and I don't wanna give you back to hold on to.
Sun is golden tan. Por favor, come dance. Swept me off my feet, moving like a melody, Spanish masterpiece. The way she shook her hips, sangria on her lips, one taste just ain't enough. The way she got near, whispered in my ear, my blood started to rush. Took me by surprise when I looked in her eyes, and she said, I love you for the night, I love you for the night. Ooh, eres bonita, baby. Be my señorita. Eres bonita, baby. Be my señorita. Beauty like angel falls, couldn't help but wanting more, staring all day long. When our bodies touch, it hits me like a drug. Quiero Spanish love. The way she shook her hips, sangria on her lips, one taste just ain't enough. The way she got near, whispered in my ear, my blood started to rush. Took me by surprise when I looked in her eyes, and she said, I love you for the night, I love you for the night. Ooh, eres bonita, baby. Be my señorita. Eres bonita, baby. Be my señorita. Quiero Spanish love. Quiero Spanish love. Won't you not just be
I know it's been a while since I left you. I could never explain what I meant to do. Then I realized what I came through. I could never explain. I levitate, I was born to be a dreamer. I don't know what to tell you. Farewell, sunset without direction. I really don't know what to tell you. Oh, yeah. I feel like I'm leaving Earth. I'm still on my way.
All right, everyone, welcome back. So tonight we are on week 4 of the LAS Premade series here at Legends Esports. So tonight I'm joined by Awesome Sheep and Wolven Alchemist as our casters, and we're here for a pretty interesting series. So tonight we have RAWR facing the Rising Tide Reapers. Now, both teams are sitting on the top end of their pool, sitting at 2-0 for RAWR and 2-1 for Team Rising Tide Reapers. So it's looking pretty interesting. One team will go with a third victory, while the other will be taking either their second loss or their first. So pretty excited to see what we got here. We did see Doki play very well on Monday, so I'm super excited to see what RAWR has in store for us. Any thoughts before we go into the draft?
I mean, when Doki's in a game, it's going to be extremely spicy. So my eyes are on him.
Your eyes are on
and
him?
his very, very questionable and troll TP smite plays.
All right then. So we'll get right into draft. We have a couple bands going through, so we'll be right back.
Both teams. Whew. Both these teams are just like absolutely rolling through the draft extremely fast. They know who wants to ban.
And Seraphine for RTR, and then RAWR is taking out Vayne and Olaf.
And there goes the Malphite, and RAWR already gonna insta ban the Alistar. They're like, no, we are not doing that.
So what do you think about these bans? That's a lot of jungler bans, to be honest.
If you have the Olaf out, Malphite can be considered a jungler too if you do want to go something like that.
I
Spicy.
think Doki
Zach is
is
also out.
Malphite jungle as well.
Yeah, he does indeed. I would know because I have to draft against him on Mondays. Yes, he does indeed play Malphite jungle. It's definitely tucked up into his champion pool there. Guys, Tide Reaper seeing what they want to pick for Prio, and they're going to go ahead and take away the Jhin from Winner 07. And, I mean, Jhin, very strong right now, very into the meta, but in my opinion, probably not the strongest Prio pick. I still feel like something like Kai'Sa is 100 times stronger, especially when it comes to
I agree, and then also, they're playing straight into RAWR's playstyle. RAWR likes to play tanks, because that's what Doki plays. Doki plays only tanks, and if you're gonna pick Sion, which is they're having Sion right now, that is a huge counter against Jhin. Because Jhin this season with the new items cannot kill tanks.
I know he definitely struggles very hard to kill tanks. The Gear Force just not nearly enough to take him down, but we're actually going to see the Nico switch off at the last second. That Sion, ladies and gentlemen, with Nico in disguise. Never mind, there's the real Sion. There's the real Sion. He was just, just right behind there in a bush, couldn't see him. Need to put a word down, and there's going to be Nico and Sion, first two picks for the first rotation for RAWR here. Guys in Tide Reaper, see what they want to answer with that.
Kind of interesting that they picked the Nico first. I don't know if it's gonna be Nico support or Nico mid, but I was thinking that they would pick either their jungler or ADC for the first two picks.
That's definitely. I mean, I have seen AD Nico, and let me tell you, that thing is that thing's scary when it gets Squinces, Kraken Slayer. That thing can be super scary. So who knows? Maybe Winner is wanting to do that. You never know. But the Nautilus is going to be coming out here, so he's going to be a Jhin Nautilus bot lane. Very solid bot combo, and I mean, if that is not a Nico support, or Astroho can actually really easily pick up the Leona here. Very good lane into the Nautilus.
So RTR has a lot of good lockdown and CC.
Oh yes, Alawi. Don't get to see very much of those. Definitely very specific pickups and matchups, but you even see the top laner here. It looks like Feathers and Furs just looking to just absolutely, maybe stomp top lane, maybe just play for those late game team fights, maybe play around.
I do know Alawi, if she can get ahead, she could be a monster split pusher, or she can be a monster in team fights.
I do love that Mordekaiser ban though. Mordekaiser is really good into Alawi. Taken to the Death Realm, deletes all your tentacles, makes it a very lethal threat against Alawi. So picking up Alawi and banning out counters is pretty smart here. They ended up picking up someone that wasn't Alawi, or not their top laner here, and then they started banning Alawi counters. Rising Tide Reapers could have possibly sniffed that one out and banned out the Alawi, so they picked the Alawi and ban out a really good counter against her. Their Kali ban's also going to be coming out for RAWR as well.
So far, I really do like RAWR's comp. They have really good engage and really good team fights, but I have to follow on RTR's comp at the moment because they have a really good lockdown comp. They have Nautilus, hook. They have Nautilus's R. They have Jhin W. They have Jin's R, and then they also have Vi.
Yeah, both teams definitely does have a pretty aggressive comp, I do want to say, but RAWR definitely not nearly as much engage as Rising Tide has at this current moment, but that can change with these last 2 picks. Or are gonna have to pick their 4th pick and do get counter picks on that side. So
Now, how do you feel about the Sion versus Vi matchup? Have you seen it?
I mean,
I have not. Me personally,
like I said, Doki goes TP Smite Scion. TP Smite not really gonna do much for you in a 1v1 against Vi. Vi also shreds armor. Vi most likely gonna win the 1v1 early game, especially if you not have the flash. So very difficult in general, and we're actually gonna see the Victor coming out. Okay, I'm just gonna stop right here and just like the only reason why you pick Victor here is because you're afraid that their mid laner is going to pick Victor.
So
There's no reason to pick their mid laner here because they have counter pick. So, and they already picked their jungle, and I'm guessing that is going to be Nico support.
Yeah,
then
they just revealed that either that's Nico support or Nico AD.
like that has to be Nico bot, unless that is Victor bot lane, which is a possibility. They could possibly looking to flex this one around. But I feel like there's really no reason to show that you wanting to pick Victor here at all.
Here comes the Cho'Gath, the counter, and that's actually a really good counter against Alawi because Alawi just can't kill Cho'Gath in late game.
A lot of people cannot kill Cho'Gath. Vayne is one of the few here, but RTR gonna go to pick up Cho'Gath. They still have the final pick they have to do here. Now, I mean, Rising Tide Reaper's comp does look very solid. RAWR's comp looks a little, feast or famine, I guess I do want to say here. If they can get ahead, they can easily snowball this game, but if they do not, and there's the
Azir is coming in for the... In my personal opinion, I have played Azir into Victor multiple times. I do not like the matchup with Azir. I hate going up against Victors. Yes, Azir does have his soldier reigns. He has his poke, but Victor just outdamages Azir so hard. But I do like Azir with their team comp though. If Azir can get in and do a really good
so much lockdown.
And if they pick off the Nico and push the Nico back into RTR's team comp, then yeah, that's really good. But if he's just looking to pick Azir for like the solo fights, I don't think that's a good idea.
Okay.
And then there's Garrett. I am confused.
I can't stop laughing because this is a very spicy cup. You know the sign's going into that's Doki's like #1, play, and I feel like at that point you have Alawi, Nico, Victor, and Garen that you could kind of put wherever. And it's not Yuumi Garen. I really don't expect Garen to go into the bot lane here, because Garen could just get peeled off so easily from Nautilus Gen. So I do kind of expect us to go into the top side here. I feel like Garen does have answers against.
But it could be
Cho'Gath.
It could be Garen mid. I have seen the Garen mid a couple of times.
Garen mid would absolutely have no kill threat or prio into his ear, so I definitely.
No, I agree, but where would Alawi go though?
That's the thing. It's like they have like a very weird comp, and I mean I've seen Alawi ADC. You never know. It could be Victor mid, Garen top, and Nico Alawi bot. But it's like I don't know. I honestly cannot like give any further analysis into this comp because it is so unique, original, and just.
But like you said, when it comes to Doki, he brings the spiciness, and apparently so does RAWR. And the rest of his team, that they like to bring the spicy.
Yep, they're seems like they're just as primitive as the logo.
Now, just looking at team comps, RTR has the advantage. Looking at straw power and tankiness, RAWR has the advantage.
Well, it's feast or famine, like I said. If they get behind, then they lose. And I really feel like if they go even, I still feel like Rising Tide Reapers has so much lockdown, look at RAWR's comp, the only engage is Sion. That's the only one they can engage with. And
they could engage with Nico though. If Nico can turn invisible, into like
that requires a summoner spell, and Nico is very difficult to engage onto this comp in general.
Okay, so it looks like it's Alawi top and
Garen jungle.
So it's not Sion.
Do we see a Sion Nico bot lane?
I have not. Have you seen? No.
Nope, that's a Sion mid. So we see a Nico Victor bot lane. Alright, well, I expect a typical name and Bigsby to bring those MR runes into the bot lane here.
No, I hope Dallas is watching because this is a question for him. Can Doki play Garen? Has Doki ever played Garen? I have never seen Doki play Garen. Never. And me personally, I do not like Garen jungle.
So, this is the biggest thing I have about RAWR's comp, right? They have no kill threat. Top
No,
side.
they really don't.
Azir is so slippery, can dodge out of Sion's R. Cho'Gath is unkillable. He's not even looking to really fight the Alawi. And if that is Victor on ADC
Yeah,
and
it's
Nico
Victor ADC.
support,
Yeah.
I do not see on hit Nico going here. So bring the MR runes bot lane. Like you survive bot lane, and I feel like Rising Tide Reapers will just reap the game.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. I personally don't like this comp RAWR has. At first, it was interesting seeing it. Like maybe, if it was Sion jungle, because I know that's a conflict for Doki, and then maybe it was
Okay.
Alawi mid, but since it's Garen jungle, I personally stopped liking it.
If they took out the Garen jungle and they put actual EDC, like they did Kaisa, Nico, Lucian, Nico, Zaya, Nico, anything that has the ability to go against Jhin Nautilus, then you're able to do something, right? But
Oh,
looks like we're having some technical difficulties here as we're
that's
Going-
someone DC'd on accident.
outside of the draft here, and I mean that gives us, I guess, a little more time to talk about how weird this composition is. Like I was saying, you take the Garen out and you put an actual EDC, and you have Nico be the support, and then Sion into the jungle, and then Victor mid lane.
Mhm.
I feel like this comp actually has the ability to win and actually do something, but the fact that you have Garen into the jungle, I mean, I don't know. They do have a lot of survivability and a lot of tankiness.
My question is,
Look-
what is Garen's wave clear?
I mean,
like,
it's
jungle
clear
clear.
should be pretty good. He should
But
be able to
compared to
clear.
Vi though, if RTR is smart, RTR is going to invade Doki non-stop because Garen can't do anything. Like, yes, Garen has a silence, but since he's in the jungle, he's gonna get less XP than what he normally gets in a solo lane, and he's not gonna be able to utilize his kit as well.
His ganking potential is also not there.
So if RTR is smart this game, they're going to just rush either as a 3-man, 2-man, 4-man, or even 5-man into Doki's jungle 24/7 this game. And because if they shut down Garen, the entire team's gonna collapse.
And this is most likely going to be a TP smite Garen, right? Because it's Doki. And
well, Doki is known for bringing Ignite too.
well, my case still stands. Ignite, I feel like it'd be even worse. You have no flash. You have no way to get into a gank.
Oh
Like,
wait,
Alawi.
Doki locked in Sion. So wait, is it Sion jungle?
I don't know anymore, man. I'm not even gonna. I'm not gonna talk about anything until the game starts. I'm shutting up. I'm not saying anything until like the rosters are locked in, because obviously I don't know anything.
I'm so because that's even a worse matchup for Garen. If it's Garen mid, that's even worse because I have played Azir top and I have played against Garens, I have played against Mordekaisers, I have played against even Cho'Gath as Azir top because I love playing Azir. Azir is one of my favorite champions to play in the game, and I know the damage potential Azir has. He has the potential just to outpoke. It's insane how much he can outpoke people with his soldiers. So just looking at this, it's just like you said, it's feast or famine.
And I don't even know. I don't even know what to say anymore.
I don't even know either.
I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait for this timer to tick down, from 60-0 before I say anything else, because I don't know if these guys are gonna switch. Well,
My question is this a normal thing for RAR?
I actually do not know. I would have to go and look at the rest of their games, but I
I'm a loss for words. I have to tell you that. I am a loss for words. Because if this was my solo queue game, I would dodge his like
I'm dodging. I'm dodging.
I'm dodging.
I'm
Like,
dodging this game.
I don't care how much OP I lose. I am not playing a game when I have 3 tanks and 2 APs.
That's the thing. Like, their consistent AD damage isn't like really there. Like, yes, they have Garen, but like, if Garen goes like full on AD, he's squishy, and that's not what you want in his Garen.
So yeah, it looks like it's gonna be Garen.
Garen
Sion
mid.
and jungle.
Garen mid's like you said, it's even worse into the Azir matchup, right? Because at least Sion like has his E, has his Q, he has his shield. And Garen just does have his passive, so he has big life regen. But I mean, Azir just like Garen has no kill threat on Azir.
No, he does not.
He has no way to set up ganks. So, like even if Sion
The only way for Garen to win against Azir if Azir steps up too far.
Yeah, which he should never do. There should be no reason. Like he has his shifting sands and his conquering sands. As long as he has that combo down, he gets out of any gank that is possible, even with the Sion ultimate. Top has no hard CC with Alawi, so and Cho'Gath's already hard to kill to begin with. Has a silence, has a slow, has an execute on top of that, so you don't even want to tower dive him. So like Cho'Gath's a hard lane to get a kill on either. And I mean, Jhin Nautilus, yes, you could try to get a kill on that lane with Victor Nico, since there's quite a bit of CC down there too. But if this Azir goes TP, same with Cho'Gath, with Neptune and Gerb, let's go TP. They just TP bot if they try to do a play onto typical name and Bixby, and they just win because their TPs are stronger.
Now my question is are they gonna have 3 TPs on their team, possibly 4 TPs on their team for RAR?
For RAR,
Because I see Alawi bringing TP, of course. We all know Doki's famous for bringing his TP. The question is, what is Garen and Victor bringing?
I mean, Garen has to bring a lane summoner, like Barrier, Heal, Ignite, Cleanse. Cleanse doesn't really do much for him in this game, so I thought he's gonna Cleanse. So, Barrier, Ignite, or Heal. And then Nico, obviously, Exhaust, Ignite, goes Ignite, then Victor's gonna go Heal or Barrier. But like he has to bring that, because if he does bring TP, yes, they're gonna have a lot of TPs, but there is such a thing as having too much TPs on a team, because then you have no combat summoners, and I mean, yes, he can do a lot of TP plays, but when bot TPs down for a bot play, he loses a lot out on top laner. The opposing top laner doesn't TP, like they get plates, they shove waves, and that's exactly what can happen if Victor brings TP to that. Like, if he wants to try to TP to the opposite side of the map, then typical name and Bixby can sub the lane, and that's not good. So there is such thing as having too much TPs. But yeah, I mean, this is gonna be one heck of a
Now
game.
there's one thing I have to say. It is for Doki. I hope Doki does not play the way he played against the Panthers yesterday. I mean on Monday. Because if he played the way he played against the Panthers, RAR has no chance of winning.
Yeah, definitely. Having a really high death count there, but ladies and gentlemen, as a spectator delay does drop down, please wait for us to be going to a loading screen, because you do not want to miss this game. But we'll see you until then.
I saw you smile from across the bar. Yeah, she was pretty and so close but so far. She flipped her hair and I thought this can't be true. How does a man like me get someone like you? And then she looked at me and I was confused. Everyone here can't be the one that she'll choose. And I looked back and saw the spark in her eyes. This can't be real, my head's telling me lies. Just like that, you're coming closer to me. Come shake me, grab me, so I wake up from this dream. I can't breathe, come at me. I don't know if I can speak. Then she said, come with me and let's be free. The night is young and I think this could go far. The sky is dark but you're my shooting star. Could see your face reflect upon the moon. It was a pretty summer night in June. And then she looked at me and I was confused. Everyone here can't be the one that she'll choose. And I looked back and saw the spark in her eyes. This can't be real, my head's telling me lies.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the LAS Premade Week 4. We have RAWR versus Rising Tide Reapers here in a best of 3 series, and you're all here for draft. Well, you definitely do not want to miss out on this game because RAWR has a very special and spicy team comp they are looking to actually make work in today's game.
Looks like they're going for the. Looks like they're either trying to invade or counter invade.
I don't know, but they do get their early ward off. I do feel like that ward is way too early. That is 38 second. You want to try to tend to get a ward like that about 50 seconds in, so the ward does last long enough past the buff spawning. So that wood will be gone. Not really going to give too much, but there's also a wood going to be going down from Nautilus, but he is going to go ahead and back for Sweeper anyway.
And it looks like RTR did actually ward at 50 seconds, and they warded Doki's red buff. So it looks like Vi might actually go for a counter jump.
They also have a ward down right there by Heshill and Winter, so like they have a lot of information. They do lose a lot of early vision prior though.
I do agree. They have a lot. They have a lot more vision on the map than RAWR does at the moment, which is really beneficial to RTR because since their team comp is looking for team fights.
If they want to have as much information as possible, they want to see if, you know, where Doki's starting and what's happening right here. And look at Jin. I love what Typical is doing here. I absolutely love what he's doing there. He was pulling the wave there. That is absolutely perfect and exactly what he wants to do there. And Vi doesn't really need that big of a leash there. It was Bixby actually there, giving him one.
Now, before we get started, what do you think about the Ghost Predator?
Ooh, they're going to land here. He's going to be dodged out from Typical. Really good fancy feet there, and about 30 of HP already gone on this Nico.
Okay, so back to the conversation. What do you think about the Ghost Predator Garrett?
I think no matter how much speed he has, he's not really going to be able to do much. Ooh, Flash going to be coming out. There's Ignite, Deadly Flush, one more auto, that could be enough. That's going to take them down. First Blood going to go over to the support of Rising Tide Reapers.
Now that was a really nice flash hook by Nautilus, securing that kill. It would have been nice if the gold went to the Jin, but they still secured the first kill. So, and it's also Victor by himself, and Victor cannot link. So.
Also does not have the clear just yet. He's at level 3, doesn't have 2 points into E, doesn't have the upgraded E either, so does not have the ability to really shove out lanes this early on. Doki is on the bot side of the map. It looks like they're trying to get some deep vision and see if they spot him out, and actually am going to spot him out here, and they are pinging for the scuttle. Looks like we got to be really careful. Doki continuing to lurk. Typical throwing out a couple of autos. That Swing Smash is going to land there. A little bit of CC going off there, but not much else can be fine as the rest of RAWR is not close enough.
It looks like Garen's asking for assistance against Vi, so it looks like Vi
really good ward. That was a really good ward by Vi.
I'm surprised how close the CS is to the mid laners. I thought Azir would be, you know, skyrocketing in CS to 9 CS for the Garen, but it looks like Garen's putting up a really good fight.
Yeah, definitely, and I mean, even look at the gold lead. Like, the CSs do look kind of like close, but it is still about 400 or 500 gold, which doesn't look on that big screen of things. But like, even though this doing CS, like, you know, that early kill gave a lot. It's a lot of prime on bot lane, and that's not what you want, right? Because bot lane was the only lane that RAWR really had the chance to gank and snowball around. And even though it just went on to the Nautilus, it still does not help Winter, not sure that much. Because even a kill on Nautilus is still quite scary.
I do agree. And it also looks like Doki going for the invade, maybe looking for a gank down bot.
I really don't think they should dive this. It's a very hard dive. It's still
I agree with you. But it looks like he's hiding in the bush.
It is a big wave here, but it's not crashed just yet. There's another wave coming in. But look at this. Lord is onto this bot side here. He's going to notice that his Krug's gone. I think he's actually going to be able to spot out maybe Doki here. And that's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to spot out Doki. He's possibly looking for something here. Ball Flicker is going to go over the wall. Really good W coming up from Winter to make sure that Nautilus cannot follow up with their hook. Really good disengage.
I think that benefits our RTR because Doki wasted so much time just sitting there.
If he did get the Vice Krug, so like it's still not absolutely horrible for him. But then again, I get with this team comp, you want to try to find as much as you possibly can. So any time wasted is time that you do not want to have wasted in general here. And look at this top lane. It's full HP on both sides, but this Alawi's like doesn't have a pot, and there's still a pot up for Neptune, and he has no mana. So you can't really do anything in this lane right now.
Well, it's like the saying. It's like what everyone says about people who play mana-based champions. There's sometimes people who waste their mana way too early during the laning phase where they force themselves to back. You need to control the way you use your mana, especially when you're playing against top laners like Cho'Gath, because if you have to back even for a second, you're gonna lose too much, and then the lane's already over.
Zero not setting up those minions correctly here. Jungle is going to be started. However, Visitide Reapers does know this is happening. Bot did reset though. Even though TP is up for Neptune, I don't think this is really much worthwhile. Would possibly looking for a steal here, but I don't think he's going to risk it and just back off, head to his top side and continue the farm.
Yeah, I don't think he even could steal it because Dogi's level 5 and he's only level 4.
Yep, early Drake does go over to RAWR there. Definitely what you want to find there with this comp that you have. You want to find as much advantages as you possibly can.
It looks like Garen did get his boots, so now Garen can now utilize Predator. So I'm wanting to see, since he brought Predator Ghost, I want to see Garen into roam more. If I don't see this Garen roam, then I'll question why you brought Predator.
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, like I said, he's not gonna be able to do anything bad, not against Azir, even with his amount of speed that Ghost Predator and his Q can give. He's definitely gonna have to look for a roam. But then again, all these roams are so hard to do. Bot lane's the only one, but bot lane's pretty far down here, about 11 CS down from Winter there, and I mean.
And then also, Alawi
really
is pushing Cho'Gath way too hard. I feel like she needs to let the wave hit in the middle, forcing Cho'Gath to come out from under his towers so he can get poked by her tentacles and stuff like that. Forcing the wave like that onto the Cho'Gath is literally benefiting Cho'Gath more than most.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Cho'Gath's fine being pushed in because he's just gonna outscale. He will always outscale, you know, he's Cho'Gath. He's taking a lot of poke here from the Test of Faith there. Taking a lot of damage. You have to be really careful. The flash coming out there. He will live. That is flash down from Feathers. It'll be a flash for flash trade. Neptune is going to have to reset most likely here. He does still have his TP up.
That was really good. That was a really good trade by Alawi. Alawi, you know, point his I forget what the ability is called, but I think it's her. You pull their soul out and you do a bunch of damage to him. And I guess Cho'Gath thought he could just take the tentacles and realized he couldn't.
TP is going to be coming out. There's a reset coming out from Feathers. He does not have TP here. So he's going to have to walk back the lane here. There will be TP advantage coming out from Feathers first here. Doki obviously still has his TP up and so does Winter. But I mean, again, this bot lane, not much you can really do if you're Victor and Nico. You have don't have much kill threat here. Like, all the sums are up for typical and Bigsby still. You have TP, yes you do have flash, but you only have one combat summoner with the exhaust, and that's it.
I'm surprised that Jin and Nautilus is letting themselves get pushed.
Oh, there you go, Jojon's going to land there, followed by the double push, just have the HP ignite coming out here. Dancing Grenade's gonna be able to find it, or bouncing him, but the flash auto is gonna be able to find the CC there, the push shot is there. Q auto is not gonna be enough, and here comes the ultimate from Doki there to be a flash coming out there. It will be a 1-for-1 trade there. The curtains are going to be open there, and Duncan looking for a kill. But he does have the edge to really good kill. Going to be found out. Then push not going to be able to find his target. But here comes his here. Here comes the ultimate from Vi. It won't be able to find it here. The Destiny Fight to be the one more auto will be enough. We're going to be able to pick up that one. It's a 2-for-1 in favor of Rising Tide Reapers.
Now that was an explosive fight. I love the engage by Doki. Doki catching out Nautilus like that with his ult. I don't think they were expecting Doki to be bot side like that. I don't know if they were expecting Garen. I think Garen got a little too aggressive at the end by trying to tower dive Jhin. Yes, you do damage, but the problem is your ult's not gonna do as much damage as late game Garen ult.
Jhin also still has his heal.
Mm-hmm.
That should have been a cooldown that the team should know, because didn't heal for that fight. No reason on winning or using that on a winning fight. You did have to use the flash though, because Doki did use his ultimate there. Really well done from him, but still 2-for-1 in favor of Rising Tide Reapers. We'll go to them. We're going to have to be really careful here. Duncan, very squishy, because I mean he's not going tank.
No, it looks like he's opting for the Triforce, which is interesting because. Well, wait, is there more items that build into that besides Triforce?
I actually do Stridebreaker. So
Oh,
he's
well,
most going to go for Stridebreaker there, but they are going to go for something for the top side here. If he is not up for good, yeah, this big smash is going to be dodged out of Neptune. Just outplaying so much there. Can he find a kill onto Duncan? No, he cannot. It's a lot of low health bars onto the top side here. Shelly is going to be able to get that smash off, but she will die instantly. They're really good. Vector going to land once again. Then we push once again. The art coming out. The Pop Blossom, my bad, is going to be thrown out, but it's not going to be able to find anything there.
And exactly what you said in the beginning of the game. Since he brought TP, since he brought Phase Rush, he has no kill pressure as Victor.
Nope, and I mean, what are you gonna do? Run away from a full combo Nautilus with a deadly flourish from Jhin? You can't. Phase Rush doesn't really do anything here. You aren't running away from the RTR. You're not running away from Gerb's Streamer Shuffle if he can get it off, because he gets it off. You're not gonna be able to proc Phase Rush anyway. So Phase Rush, not really much you're walking away from. You want to try to do as much damage as possible, but because of that play, Rising Tide Reapers does pick up the second Jake of the game.
And yes, you could say, well, don't forget that RAWR did get the tower plates on the top tower, but they lost a kill bot lane and they lost Dragon. So in my opinion, it benefits.
Possibly looking for
RTR
something
a lot
here.
more.
Those Gerb gonna flash. Oh, there. Ooh, Tread's actually going to land. Really well done there. The ball breaker is gonna be used. Follow the Ignite coming off there. Gerb's gonna be able to pick up that one, and Darkton's just way too far up, even though that the enemy team just took the Drake.
That was a really good engage by Nautilus. I'm surprised that hook didn't even hit, because I wasn't thinking it was gonna hit. These Nautilus hooks are amazing.
Yeah, I mean, Bigsby just showing how just strong he can be on this pick here, and bot's pretty much over. 2-0-2 on the Jhin. Already has his Gale Force. The Spirit is going to be used and land onto Neptune for the top lane, but I mean, he doesn't care. He's so tanky. He doesn't really care too much. He has the crossfire
Gauntlet, which is really good for against Doki, Alawi, and Garen. And since Garen is not going tank, he's just gonna Trugget's gonna be able to run them down in late game.
Yep, like I said, feast or famine, and so far it is definitely because I mean they can't really do much here. I mean the game's, I wouldn't say over, but Rising Tide Reaper's in such a good position. This is exactly what they want it to be. RAWR has to get ahead, and even if they go even, it's still really hard for them to do what they want to do. Alawi's not even super far up ahead either.
I do commend the spiciness that RAWR was going for. Like it makes the game more interesting, makes the game more fun. But the problem is when you're playing competitive play, you need to think about comps. It's all about the comps. It's all about how can my team...
Ooh, touch going to land. The Dilly Bush is there. Rampage Blue is going to be used. The Pop Blossom is there. Really good trip, but the heal is going to come out here. But I think that is going to be one dead Jhin. Shutdown going to go to Doki, but Bixby going to be able to pick up that one. But here comes Duncan. He has the Predator, not even going to get an assist. It's going to be a 2-for-1 in favor of RAWR there, as they just did not expect Doki to be on the spot side.
And there you go. Again, RAWR proving me wrong about comps. Doki's like, hey, you want to see a comp play? He ults in there, And then Scion Q's to Jin, making Jin lock down. And as soon as he Scion Q's Jin, Victor puts down his W, keeping Jin stunned. That was really nice play by
A lot of lockdown CC there. The Gale Force is still up for the Jin, and he still did have Flash, but he just got, he just got locked down by a lot. And we do see a pause coming out here as you can see on your screen. It looks like Doki is having some internet issues and disconnecting.
Now, if you look at the CS lead, RTR is winning in every single lane besides jungle and top.
Yep. Jungle is, I would say, about 12, really good CS difference here, but Cho'Gath versus Alawi, really good that Alawi does have a CS lead, does give her something, but it's still really good that Cho'Gath is still not too far behind, and
What do you think
Cho'Gath
about the
is
Gorge
going to
Drinker
scale more.
on Alawi since they kind of nerfed Gorge Drinker?
I mean, keeps her alive, and that's what RAWR wants right now. They want the Alawi to stay alive in these fights, but looks like Paz is gonna go out here. It is the Nico into mid lane. Going out the W, and it looks like Darkin is heading for something into mid lane here, and I mean, there you go. That's the lane, guys. Garen goes for an engage, and Azir just shifting sands out. We do see a Leap of Faith coming out from Feathers here, doing a lot of damage to Neptune here, but this is a little bit of trade out. Does end up losing out onto the trade. It is a ult trade though for Feathers. And you see some Bixby going to the mid lane. Really good Dredge Runs going to land. They're going to be forced to flash out of Darkin there. And really good rotate coming out from Bixby there.
Those Nautilus hooks. I don't know if that man is blessed by the waters of Nautilus himself, but he's reaching him across the lane.
Alright, here we go. This is the matchup you're expecting at bot lane here. Azir versus Victor. This is what we were expecting to see here. A lot of damage going to be going out onto Darkin here from the typical here. And Deadly Push is going to miss, but it looks like Tower is going to fall down here. It is a 2-tower lead going over to RAWR there, as that Shelly did finally pay off, and that play at bot did get him a tower there. But it is still a lot of standing gold in general for Rising Tide Reapers, as they still have mid tier 1 that's about to fall in tier 1 at bot lane, about half HP.
Yeah, so far it's in RAWR's hands. They have 2 towers. They also have.
Be very careful. Be very careful. Let's see if we can find something onto Bixby there. On someone on side is going to be used up. The first is he's gonna flash. Right side investment is smashed when the Dredge line right out of there. And really good disengage coming out. Does force the flash from Bixby, but I mean he's fine. He's fine with that. He has Hex Flash.
Yeah, and they also took away Scion's R, which is the only engage that RAWR has.
Yep, and Dragon is coming up here, so I mean, I think a flash for an R trade when it comes to the only engage is worth it, especially if you do have Hex Flash up. But we'll see if they can punish the no flash onto this Nautilus here. But Dragon is spawning here, and we'll see if how the teams are gonna deal with this. It is no TP from Feather, so he is maybe looking to rotate down. TP is up for Neptune, so he can continue to push out the stop. Look where he's sitting. He's looking for TP. He's waiting. He knows he needs to be ready as fast as possible. And Feathers is showing topside, and he has TP up. They can go for an easy 5v4. Dredge's gonna land. Deadly Push is there. Darkin is in the bush, waiting to get a kill onto the Jin, but he's just not able to do as much damage as he wants to do. Careful, stay on one more auto flash from him from one, not even needed. Currents are going to be opened up from typical. The TP came out from Neptune. Another Dredge going to land. Lock him from Bixby. He's going to be shielded here. Here comes Cook though. They found the jungler. There should be a free break there. Next target is going to be one thing to force a flash out. Doki is now in zombie sign, doing as much damage as possible. The Emperor's divide is to divide him apart. But here comes Feathers and Fur looking for something here. The Rupture is going to be used here, trying to do as much damage onto Feathers. But the grip on the backside, Winter and Asher is still up and alive. The pop-up is going to be used. The flash coming out. There's going to be a flash trade coming out from Neptune there, but the next target's going to be Winter. The ball play is going to be Lena Feathers. Really good flash from Typical. Going to pick up a kill. Neptune is still alive. Push shot is still up, and Exhaust, stay away from the Exhaust and come out there. Deadly Flourish is about to come up. Will not be able to find his target. Rupture is going to be able to find its target, but not going to be able to pick up a kill on Feathers, and this fight is still going on. 25 gold going over to good from that Eco clone there, but here comes Darkin. Here comes an unstoppable onslaught from downtown. Here comes Scion, and he's going to be able to pick up a kill onto this fight here. No, it will not. Actually going to go over to Java's mid laner. It is
find
going to be
another-
a team fight. We're actually going over to RAWR as Rising Tide Reapers just did not take advantage of the numbers.
Riptide Reapers over like what are they doing? They had the advantage. They had the kills. Jin holding his last shot for way too long made no sense. And on top of all that,
2 seconds. I am good to go. I do a little bit of restarting up there for the stream, but it is going to be Shelly gonna go over to RAWR once again here. Triton's going to land here. Deadly Flourish is here. Pop-Off is going to be used. Really good Gale Force to burst down Astro to make sure he cannot get off that Pop Blossom. Possibly looking something in mid lane. Here comes Duncan. He has the Ghost. He has the Demon. He's looking for something onto the Jin here. Really good peel coming out from Bixby. Oh, not going to be able to find his target. Neither will the Deadly Flourish there. Winter will be able to pick up that. So the curtains to be opened once again from this Jin here, doing quite a bit of damage, but not enough here. It's going to be 1-for-1 in a support for support trade.
so it looks like RAWR is just wanting to continue to fight. They want to keep up this momentum of them team fighting and them winning. And this is exactly what RTR does not want them to do. They don't want them to have the Scion to engage on top of them because, as you can see, yes, they did take out one member of RTR, which was just for support, which is not that big of a deal. But Nautilus is a really good engage champion for RTR to have. So if you take away
that's
Nautilus,
really good peel.
it's hard for RTR to engage. Because you really don't want to engage with your Vi. You don't really want to. I guess you could engage with Cho'Gath, but it's hard to engage with for Cho'Gath to get in there without using one of your summons.
A lot of
And
damage
you don't-
going to go out to Darken here. And, I mean, again, this is what the matchup is going to look like here. Vi is onto this top side though, so if something. Oh wait, and we got another pause. Wouldn't be Legends if we didn't have some more pauses here. But I mean, saying the map. RAWR is doing a really good job. They got another dragon. That was a really good team fight, long team fight win that they were able to pick up. But they are still down in gold, about 1.2k. They are up in towers and objectives, but still, RTR still has the ability to easily come back and win this game. Yep, the Stride Breaker on Garen. Yep, that is what is. I mean, basic. What you would expect to see for Garen.
I don't like the Stride Breaker on Garen. If he was gonna go a damage item or a attack speed item, I would have gone for the Triforce. The Trinity Force, since Trinity Force does give you attack speed, and giving that
He's
attack
the
speed for
only-
Garen E is really good.
He's the only consistent 80 damage because Alawi you have to sit in her R
Mm-hmm.
to if you want to do
And
you
that
know,
too, like
consistent
Garen's
damage.
the only person that's gonna give 80 damage. Garen wants to put out as much damage as possible because if RTR is smart, they're not gonna send Alawi's R. They're not just gonna, just let Alawi keep on getting hit by tentacles and regenerating her health like that. They're just going to play on the outside, wait till her R's done, and then engage. As you saw in that last team fight.
So for any of you wondering, Cho'Gath is currently sitting at 7 stacks. He has eaten 6 minions already and has gotten 1 champion. So he is at his max minion stack, so he's gonna have to start eating and nomming on some enemy champions here if he wants anything more. Garen is looking like he's going something good, but enters the fight, and it stops at that. Here comes a lot of damage coming out there, and Gurb, that's not what you want to do, but the Flash Strike Line is there! And even though Gurb misplayed it, he still picks up the kill. 1v1 all by himself. No help even needed. Full on my. They needed Bixby to be there to make sure that he did that absolutely amazing. Because this guy knows how to peel. I need this guy in my solo queue game.
Are you teaching him?
Doki. Doki looking for something here. The Turbo Kick's going to be used there. Sun and Deadly Blade is going to be coming out. The Ball Breaker's there. Breaking has a lot of armor, but the Death Charge is going to be used. Astro is here, but he's going to walk out. A lot of damage on to Doki here. And it is a Zero to the backline just in case he was gonna get out there. Ball breaker to peel him. Peel the zombie sign off of Bigsby, and another good catch coming out from the Nautilus. Bigsby, this man makes plays for Rising Tide Reapers.
That was a really good use of Gale Force right there, taking off Doki, giving it to the Jin, giving that gold to the Jin. And then there's Nautilus. That man is everywhere. Like literally everywhere. If he sees one of his teammates is 1v1ing, he is there to help out. No matter if he was bot side, he's gonna be top side in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, Bigsby, this guy is an absolute monster right now. He is setting up so much for Rising Tide Reapers. Don't let his KDA fool you. Don't let the 5-1 and 5 gen. He's doing really well, but Bigsby is definitely the MVP so far here. He's just doing so much. Azir misplayed that a little bit. Definitely did not play the way he wanted to into that disengagement, but didn't matter because Bigsby was there.
One of the hardest things is as Azir is when Garen does get on top of you, and that's what Garen tried to do. Garen tried to get on top of you.
He did have to use Flash. Ooh, Dragon gonna land onto Doki once again. Deadly first again. What's gonna CC back up? Dreamin' Soldiers is saying, wait, come back. I need to deal some more damage. And it's gonna be Constance coming out once again. Once again, it is there. Another dredge line. It looks like Doki is gonna fall down once again. Gonna go right into Zombie Scion. But they're possibly looking for something onto Typical. Bigsby gonna have to get healed from Typical here. Really good stun coming, or snare coming up from Astro of the W coming out from Victor there, and they're looking for something onto this Alawi. The Leap of Faith is there, and they're gonna walk out of it. He's after we can get out of it. Here comes Neptune. Look at this big boy. He is so big, he is so large, taking so much damage, but he will get executed down, smited down from the Garen ultimate. Really good Shurima shuffle there. Not even shuffle, Emperor's Divide, my bad, and that is gonna be a kill going over to Goob. Botbreaker is gonna be there. This is going to be the Streaming Soldier getting a little poke coming out and thugging here.
These dragon fights, both teams is showing that they want this dragon. They don't care.
Botbreaker is going to miss. This is going to be the arc coming out there. The Streaming Soldier is saying, let me get in there. Pocket is in, but the back buff isn't enough. It is not quite enough, but the code's going to be open. And they are going to be applauding after that one, as Typical is going to be able to find a kill there. Really good stun coming out onto Doki there. Dreadlight once again from Bigsby. Test Spear is there. A lot of damage to dodge. Bigsby has to be really careful. He is not going to be Typical. Slap. He's going to be dodged right outside of that one. Dragon is going to be started from RAWR here. They want assistance. They want to stop this from happening, but I don't think they can. It's going to be another Drake going over to RAWR. But overall kill lead going over to right side.
You did not notice, Sheep. Doki TP'd back in that fight. As soon as he respawned, he TP'd back in there. And that's why this man is known for getting objectives the way he gets objectives. Because
he dies and he TP's back.
Fights. He's like, he just non-stop tries to secure objectives. Non-stop.
But let's have to be really careful here. There's no one near him. He has no mana. He's forced to flash outside of the rupture. And I mean, this guy, you're playing so greedy. This Cho'Gath isn't small anymore. He's quite big, and you have no mana, no gas left in the tank there, and it's going to be a free flash going over to Neptune.
If you notice, both teams don't really have MR. I'm actually quite confused of the lack of MR that both teams has, because Azir is just able to poke Alawi and Scion so much that's insane. And then you have Cho'Gath.
Match gonna fight out to Bigsby here. Duggan is looking for a play here, but Gerb is nearby. Dredge is gonna get him right inside that second stairs, decimating Smasher, and the tower actually did end up falling onto the bot side there, so the towers are now evened up here, and there's still about 3k gold lead going over to Rising Tide Reapers. One, two. Alright, should be good. All good, so all good. Client issues, it is Riot's client after all. Alright, so we have 4 members of Rising Tide Reapers on the spot side, almost 5. This is really scary for RAWR's solo laners right now. Sure, not gonna land. And see, they are paying for the Baron right now, so They could possibly try to look for something here. Let's see, Alex Bigsby looking for a play once again. Gotta be really careful. Actually, Feathers and Doug gotta be really careful. Ooh, that dredge line almost landed there, but here comes the best of Rising Tide Reaper's Flash coming out there. Gotta be really careful. You do not want to stand on top of this allower, but it doesn't matter because you're just slapping him, CCing him up. Bucker's gonna be there. Gerb is now on a killing spree. It is going to be the Baron started though, however, for VAR there should be just a free Baron for them. They do it kind of slow though. It is going to be resets coming out from Rising Tide Reapers, but I think this is actually going to be Baron going over to VAR there. They're going to be wearing purple unless Rising Tide can get here fast enough, but I don't think they're going to be able to.
Yeah, no, it doesn't look like they're able to get there quick enough. As you saw, as soon as they lost the team fight down the bot lane, they're just okay. Let's just all group up top lane and just get that objective, which is a really good trade for RAWR at the moment since they are falling behind.
Yeah, definitely very smart. And I mean, I'm glad they going for plays on Feathers. They're trying to find picks and keep themselves ahead. But you got it. You need some vision on the opposite side objective. Like Dragon side up, so you can even trade for Dragon.
Having RTR not have any vision on Baron or Dragon side is what's giving RAWR all these objectives. Because if you look at it, they had some control wards on top side, river side, but they're just, as you can see about the Alawi, they're just getting taken out.
They definitely have to be really careful there. It is going to be VAR wearing purple, and Ocean Soul is coming up for VAR in about 1 minute. You do not want to give this to them, but you have to fight them with the Baron up. But
yeah, if they give Ocean Soul to VAR, the health regen on Alawi and Sion and Garen is gonna be really good for RAWR if they can secure this last dragon.
Yeah, they definitely did not want to give this over to VAR. Rising Tide Reapers are going to have to take advantage of their gold lead here and are going to have to try to punish VAR as much as possible. But Baron's up and won't fall down to another minute and a half. It will be about 1 minute of standing time with Baron roughly 1 minute, about 56 seconds.
And it looks like the Nautilus went for the Turbo Kim tank. What do you think about that?
This Spring Smash is going to be used. Really good captive audience there coming out from Typical to make sure that he does not get hit by the Deathwing Smash. Good poke coming out from Winter.
Oh, it looks like Garen going on.
Be really careful to looking for something onto Gerb here. Really good confidence shifting sand, but they're still going to go for him. And Emperor's Fight is going to be there. That's Flash outside of the mid laner, but that is also ult coming out from Gerb there. And that's definitely something you do not want down there. Looks like they're going to see if they can find something onto Doki here. That's going to be the next target, about half HP. On top of Onslaught is going to be used. Vi is going to be able to tank that one up. This Smash is actually going to land onto the Jin here. Flash and Top Blossom is going to be used here. It looks like Astro is going to fall down. And Feathers looking for a kill onto Typical. Neptune and Feathers Neptune and Typical the only ones left alive here, but I don't think you're going to be able to kill this Cho'Gath.
And Neptune is just saying, you are just, that Alawi damage is actually just killing Neptune. But when Garen was on Neptune doing his E, he was tickling Cho'Gath.
This game actually flipped over for RAWR quite a bit here. They have the Ocean Soul now. They have Baron for another 10 seconds. I mean, Baron not really going to do much at this point, but maybe looking for something onto the Victor here, though. Be really careful. It is going to be Winter going golden, but the Rupture is going to be there to catch him out there, and Neptune doesn't have the ultimate, but will still be able to pick up the kill nonetheless.
But if you look at the team fights for RTR, Cho'Gath is never with them. He's always there at the end of the team fights.
That is true.
Which is really bad for RTR, because Cho'Gath is your front line. Yes, Nautilus is a good front line, he is, but you need Cho'Gath to be there so he can tank the team for you, so he can peel for the Jin, he can peel for the Azir, he can peel for the Vi, so they can do as much damage as possible and secure objectives. Because them giving Baron and now Dragon Soul, it's really bad for RTR.
Yes, it's definitely not the situation you want to be in right now. Elder is up in 5 minutes, Baron in 2 minutes. They can't lose either of those. Rising Tide cannot. And, I mean, VAR can probably afford to lose Baron at least once, but in general, I don't think they need to worry about it.
And exactly what happened to the Gators on the second week of draft plays when they played against the Panthers, when they picked Jin into 3 tanks. I mean, it picked Jin into like a tank comp when Jin has no peel. Jin can't do anything. He's useless.
He does have the Lord Doms, and Lord Doms just did get buffed this patch.
That
35%
is true.
instead of 25. That's a whole extra 10%. Plus, Lord Doms are stronger in Season 11 than it was in Season 10. Now, if someone has higher health than you, you do even more damage. So definitely a lot easier to deal damage in this season for Jen than it was in last season. It is the GA up on Feathers, though, so even if he does end up dying, he will just come back to life. So, I mean, you realistically don't want to be focusing him in fights anyway.
Oh, looks like Garen's getting caught out.
Have to be really careful that the Ballbucker is going to be charged up. Actually, there's the buff to the Deadly first. Curtain's going to be opened once again, then the R coming out from 5 there. Other than Mossy and Justice knows that their curb gets caught out from Doki. The Unstoppable Onslaught is going to be able to find that one flash over the wall from Neptune there. And Gale Force is going to be used. Depth Charge is also there. And he's going to have to try to get as far away as possible. The Dredge Run is going to be used. A lot of damage coming out. But a big crit there. Once they're going to be eating that one. And, I mean, it's a 1 for 2 in favor of RAWR, and it's just not what you want at all if you're Rising Tide Reapers. At least you did find something, but still not the best. We have to be really careful here. You're doing quite a bit of damage, but you've got to lose your support. We'll be able to get this out of this one alive. Auto will be enough. Yes, it will, and that is going to be Winter picking up that kill. After that, be really careful. Deadly Flash going to be able to find its target. Typical and very more like a typical sniper, as he's going to be able to pick up that one. What an amazing kill coming out there. There's still kills. Oh, wait, get really careful. He's going to walk right into that. Oh, no, typical.
Gave 1,000 gold to Victor.
I was hyping you up so much. And Neptune is fighting into a Lowy ultimate. That's not what you're doing. He falls on quite a bit of HP, and ban is going to be started from Doki on RAWR. And not much they can really do. 38 seconds onto the ADC and 3 seconds onto the split from Rising Tide Reapers.
Baron going to RAWR. They're losing another objective because RTR is being way too greedy. At first it was RAWR being greedy. It was RAWR taking the really bad fights. Now it's RTR.
I don't even think they know this has happened. They have no vision on it. They're not even seeing it. Like, I don't even think like they're saying they're giving it. I just don't think they know that they're on it. So another Baron's gonna go over to RAWR because once again, they have no vision.
Yep. Once again, like you said, once again they have no vision.
That was a slow
Elder Dragon is up in 1:40. So all RAWR needs to do is either just keep on pushing the lanes, keep on putting pressure on there, and just wait till Elder Dragon comes up, or they can.
Ghost coming out from Darkin here. He popped the Ghost, he popped the Predator. Lord, see if he can't get out of this one alive, but he cannot. Darkin doing a really good job at blocking the Vault Breaker there. Finally showing why he brought the Predator and Ghost here.
And then the issue what RTR is having right now is that.
Oh no, Darkin. Wait. He walked in. He walked into like 3. Oh my goodness, that should have been a dead Garen. There should be no reason that Darkin survived that.
So as I was saying, the issue with RAWR, not RAWR, RTR is having. Hopefully,
it's gonna land. Deadly Flash gonna land. Once again, Test of Spirit is gonna be there, but the Leap of Faith is gonna be used. That's almost killed Typical, and let's see, can he drift his way out of this one? He's gonna run right into Bigsby. Redrun is going to land. They're trying to do as much damage as possible. The Pop Blossom is there. Deadly Flash is tanking tower, but I don't think Doki really cares. Curtain Call is going to be open, Depth Charge is going to be used, and Doki's pretty low in HP. Neptune chasing him down there. He's going to use Decimating Smack, but he's going to be able to walk right outside of that one. Neptune's still not done quite yet, but he's going to decide to walk away. Darkin looking to burst cheese, but he's going to walk right outside of that one when he sees that big boy Cho'Gath.
My question is, RTR, what are you doing? Doki was in your base.
But you're going to land, not going to land once they're going to be able to flash outside of that one.
Like, I'm so confused what RTR is doing. Doki was just in their base, taking their inhibitor, and he was able just to get out.
Ooh, TP coming out from Doki here. I mean, there should be something that they should be looking for. They need to be looking for Doki here, but Neptune is actually retreating here. The Elder is up. I mean, he's going for a reset. They could have possibly found the jungler there, but they decided against it. It's going to be trade of lane assignments here.
And again, like I said, since Alawi keeps on taking out the Shogat from the fights.
Neptune's just gonna try to fight feathers, but once the Leap of Fate comes out, she cannot fight anymore. Elder's actually gonna be started here. Lord, can you be our Lord and Savior for Rising Tide Reapers and be able to smite away this objective? TP's coming out. You gotta go over the wall. You gotta go for the steal, but there's no vision. There's no vision. You gotta go for it. It is going to be RAWR picking up the Elder Dragon, and they're just in a bad position. It could be a black outside the gravity field. Really good engage coming from Astro. And it's going to be a really good drifting coming out there, and Typical's going to be shut down.
This is definitely GG for RAWR. RAWR has just taken this game home.
Oh my goodness, they were like in a 4 or 5K deficit, but now they're 6K gold lead going over to RAWR.
I am just shocked in general. We came in as casters thinking, oh, they don't have a team comp.
We cast a cursed game. We cast a cursed it.
I cast a cursed it. I was thinking, hey, this team comp doesn't make any sense. You know, like
I am standing by what I said. This composition, you put this in a challenger game, and there's no way RAWR wins. They had really good macro this game, though. They definitely out macroed RTR. RTR definitely had the early game, but they just didn't turn it into it.
What's the issue? Oh,
and here comes on top of onslaught coming out from Doki. Destiny Smack is only going to do it by Neptune. Big Speed going to be able to throw us a little bit before he falls down. Pop Awesome once again, Nippers divide. It's going to throw up a really big wall between him and the enemy team, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Winters now dominating. Neptune going to be the next target, but I mean, this guy is just huge, and Typical doing quite a bit of damage over to Doki. Wooddom's doing a lot of work there, and Duncan trying to see if he can do as much damage as possible. He's got to be really careful, though. The Bucks are not going to do as much as Duncan. Duncan's so damn fast, and Neptune going to be the next target.
The issue I have...
Oh! Elder going to be able to snipe that one down. Just at the very end of the burn tick there, and this looks like it's going to be GG. Going over to RAWR. Currents are going to be opened once again. Strike Breaker is going to be used. Conquering Shifting Sands and all into the base. Doki going to be able to find the kill setup for Winter. And it's much going to be GG here, going over the RAWR there as Typical trying to do as much as he can. Not going to be able to find what he wants to do. And it's going to be RAWR taking up and leading the series 1-0.
What are your thoughts?
I mean, Rising Tide Reapers had the early game. They only needed to get objectives, and they somehow lost out on 2 Barons and 5 Dragons. Like this game should have gone to Rising Tide Reapers. No fault to RAWR. RAWR played that game really well. Like their micro decisions were really well done. Like going for Baron when the entire enemy team's on the opposite side, being able to find good plays in general and being able to punish the mistakes from Rising Tide Reapers, but that was I feel like Rising Tide Reapers game to lose.
Yeah, no, I agree. And one of the things that just my opinion, because I love playing Jhin. I have Mastery 7 Jhin. Jhin's my main ADC that I play all the time. I do not like Rapid Fire Cannon being his third item. He needed an IE. He needed his crit.
I just realized this, and I didn't even look at his build, but Typical. You have no IE on a champion that does, I think, 35% less crit damage, right?
Mm-hmm.
You needed to do damage this game, right? Because you have to kill the tanks. You're the like most ahead person. You're actually the richest person in the game aside from Winter. Even though Winter has 3 more kills than you, like you're CSing really well, but you didn't
getting the rapid
have
fire
an IE,
cannon third
man.
item and not getting the IE is what made him do negative damage against the tanks in late game, against Doki, against Alawi, against even against Garen. He was chunking Garen a lot, but the issue was the way Jin works is that as your fourth shot does base, does percentage based health, yes, but it also scales with crit.
Also, the other thing that I do have to say, the entire roster of RAWR is over 18 aside from Astro, but Astro is
Mhm.
still 2 levels ahead of Bigsby. I mean, Bigsby played out of his mind in that game. That guy, he's really
He deserves MVP for RTR, but I have to say, player of the game should go to Doki. I have to say it. Doki did really good engages. Doki did really good objective calls. He was there for every single objective. He kept the fights going. Yes, with his TP, which made them secure the dragons for the in the early games.
This game was definitely a real special one. I do gotta say that, but I mean, I have nothing else for that. I truly believe that was RTR's game to lose. I mean, they had the composition, they had the early game against the Feast or Famine team composition.
And the other thing is just their OTR's problem was positioning. Cho'Gath was never in the team fights. Azir was always getting caught out. And then so if Azir was getting caught out and dying, first one dying, Cho'Gath never in the fight. That means the only one engaged they have was Nautilus. And Nautilus, yes, he has Turbo Kim tank, but he can't tank everything. He can't be the only one peeling for the rest of his team. Cho'Gath needed to be with his team, but he never was.
Yep, didn't even use the TP advantages that he had most of the game. But ladies and gentlemen, that is game one of a series of best of 3 here. RAWR going to be able to take up the first one there, but it is still 2 games left to play. At least 1 game left to play. Could be 2 games left to play. If RTR does end up bringing up the next game, we could see a game 3 here. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and send it to break, and we're going to be back with player of the game.
If there was a way to capture this time, I could show you pictures of the light inside my mind. If I could hold the magic, the one I don't wanna lose, I could say I'm sorry for all of my abuse. And I could stand and I could believe, and I could breathe clear, 'cause now I believe. I could believe, and I could breathe clear. I could believe. If I could send a wire to reach you out there, I could tell you secrets we never got to share. If I could pull the letters and words from this page, I could finally realize and let go of my rage. And I could stand and I could believe, and I could breathe clear, 'cause now I could leave. I let go of the fear, I let go of the pain. Won't build a fire here, let it burn away. I could believe, and I could breathe clear. Take a chance in a trance, painted red, what a romance. Take a chance, one glance, painted blue, end up with a rain dance. Just a bit stronger, an honor and a monster. Yeah, I gotta say I want this longer. Can't find this anywhere, constant calm inside, yeah. Waves above stand light, yeah. Feeling calm inside, yeah. Won't find us anywhere, constant calm inside, yeah. Waves above stand light, yeah. Feeling calm inside, yeah. Can't find this anywhere, anywhere. Yeah, I want this longer. Won't find this anywhere, anywhere. How I've always wondered. Yeah, I want this longer. Won't find this anywhere. How I've always wondered. How I've always wondered. How I've always wondered. Took a chance in a trance, painted red, where's the romance? Took a chance, one glance, painted blue, ended on a rain dance. Now a bit stronger, not alone with a monster. Yeah, I gotta say I want this summer. Can't find this anywhere, constant calm inside, yeah. Waves above stand light, yeah. Feeling calm inside, yeah. Won't find us anywhere, constant calm inside, yeah. Waves above stand light, yeah. Feeling calm inside, yeah. Can't find us anywhere, anywhere. Yeah, I want this longer. Won't find this anywhere, anywhere. How I've always wondered.
All right. So, our player of the game for game number 1 is Mr. Astro Ho, sitting at 2, 8, and 13 as the Nautilus, able to catalyze. Oh, wait. No, that does not seem to be correct. No, it was actually Mr. Astro Ho on the Nico that was voted in as your player of the game. The champion was incorrect. But he was able to get those late game engages off incredibly well. Without those, it would have been incredibly difficult for the team to be able to play it out. He was able to get those 2 3-man stuns, and other than a couple early game mistakes, I do feel that he was definitely a piece that helped them win out throughout the later stages of the game. And him enabling some of those macro decisions, being able to take those objectives and, get soul leads from the bot lane, as well as grab those barons sneakily. It helped out quite a bit. Now, before we do get into draft, do we have any thoughts about game 1? But they did do a great job macro-wise. Their champions were a little unorthodox, but overall it did end up working. Maybe a little more traditional of a draft could have helped them out a little bit more, made that early game transition a little bit easier, but overall their macro was what won them the game. It wasn't their picks, it was definitely their macro.
I mean, yeah, their macro is just absolutely. I mean, like I said, I criticized RAWR, and I still will. I will stand by it.
So we are heading to draft here. I will switch that over right away.
All right, let's see if the bands are gonna be same or different. Let's see if both teams are
rushing to go into the second game, saying like, well, let's do this. It looks like RTR feels confident. There might be a Scion ban. There might be an Alawi ban. I don't know. Oh, there we go. Alawi. It's gone in an instant. What do
I
you
mean,
think
I
about
feel like
that?
Alawi enabled the comp a lot because like she made it so like you couldn't just sit there and fight like you wanted to with the
I
comp
do agree with
that Rising Tide had. So I think that is probably one of the only bans you should take away from the first game. I feel like everything else is just standing. You should be fine letting it stand
And
out.
again, RAR opting for the Vayne ban, and then
And they kept their bans.
and
The
then
only
yeah,
different ban is RTR from the Seraphine. Seraphine over to the Alawi.
and I don't think like and the Scion first pick.
Ion first pick.
Do you think that's gonna go mid lane? Do you think Doki's gonna get his hands on it again?
I feel like it's gonna have to go to Doki. No reason for it not to. It's his most comfortable pick. See what RTR? I do gotta say, I don't think first picking it was probably the best because it's not really a cryo pick.
Like, yeah, I feel like RTR. If RAR's gonna go for the same comp, go for the exact same tank comp, RTR needs tank killers.
Yep. They definitely do want 10 killers and they do ban away the Vayne. So, I mean, it's smart.
Tank killers, like, so they, like, I feel like Vi's
Vi-
a good tank killer.
Vi is a
Really
good one.
I don't think Jin is the perfect choice here. I would rather see a Kaisa
I think Kai'Sa's so much better. Here.
or Kaisa Misfortune, something that can kill tanks.
I would much rather see the Kaisa, especially with
I
Vi.
do agree.
Kaisa is Kaisa Vi enable each other so much. So I definitely do want to see the Kaisa here. The Cho'Gath's gonna be picked up once again.
So RTR
Yep,
is going for
dude.
the exact same comp so
Please be in the fights this time because you
Yeah,
were
I
really
have to.
tanky and you were very strong, but you were only there like when half your team was already dead.
I have to agree. One of the reasons RTR lost a lot of fights was because Cho'Gath was not in the fights. I feel like if RTR realizes that and then Cho'Gaths are in the fights, like again, then they can win team fights. But I'm kind of curious to see what their counter pick to Cho'Gath is. Their first pick was Alawi, so I'm curious what they're gonna pick now.
Yeah, the Lowy is out of here. Nico
Mordekaiser is
locked in once again. Astro is most likely going to be running that back once again, unless VAR has some other ideas here. And VAR, so far, going with the same exact comp. Both teams are. Do we see a run back?
Well,
can't have
Mordekaiser. Well, since Alawi's gone, but Mordekaiser is up, so RAR could pick up Mordekaiser against Joe.
Could do that if he just wants to absolutely stomp the lane here, but I feel like in general, VAR wants to fight 5v5s instead of 1v1 and a 4v4. So the set is going to be maybe locked in here. It's being offered. No, the Ornn is going to be coming out instead. It is going to be weak side versus weak side. Both of these have the ability to lane. Both of these have the ability to play weak side. So
I have to say, so far, is looking advantage to RAR. As you saw,
Kaisa, thank you. Thank you for locking in that Kaisa. She is the strongest
There
ADC
is
in
the
my
Victor ban, so bot can no longer get Victor.
No APC Victor this time. See what else RAW is planning on banning out here.
Now my question is, I do not like them picking their ADC this early since they know the Nico's gonna go support. But that's just me.
Most likely gonna go support. I mean, it could still go mid. You never know. And I feel like ADC, you don't want to hold on your ADC ban realistically because it doesn't give that much. I mean, there's only a couple ADCs you can pick, and that Jhin, Kaisa, the first, big three, and then you got Senna, Ashe can be good in some comps. But I mean, there's not that many ADCs you can really pick up. But Nautilus could be banned out from Bigsby. I think that's an excellent ban because Bigsby showed up a lot on that pick. Just setting up so much play.
If it's Nico support, I wouldn't be surprised if they picked a Leona here.
Leona Kaisa can be a pretty lethal lane if the other team doesn't have a lot of damage.
Oh, and they picked up the set.
And they take the set.
Do you think it's set support? Or do you think it's set mid?
I would kind of hope for set support.
That's what I'm hoping for too. I think set support would be a lot better, especially against like a squishy lane if it is Nico support. Because if set can just get on top of you, you're just done.
Set can abuse the fact that Nico throws out another entity that he can face break the other Nico or possibly the ADC into. So definitely a really good lane for Set in general. Also does a lot of damage, and that's what you kind of want to have into an aggressive lane sometimes. Like if you're going Nico support and like probably another high damage dealer as ADC or APC, and we're actually going to see Swain
And
coming
then
out
they-
here.
Swain for either mid lane or a bot lane. I think it's gonna be Swain ADC. I have seen a lot of Swain ADC, and Swain is really strong in the bot lane right now.
Whether played the Victor, would not be surprised if we see him bring out the Swain here. He's very strong in bot lane right now, and I mean in general, Kai'Sa Set against Swain Nico, both sides have the ability to
And
get
then
ahead early.
Is
So
that Ornn mid? Please
I-
don't tell me that's Ornn mid.
I think that might be one mid.
Please don't tell me that's Ornn mid. RTR, please pick something that is smart.
That is smart.
Do not pick Azir. Azir did not help you last game.
Yeah, they definitely need to pick something that has the ability to rotate
And
some
they-
moving spot, and they pick. Oh my gosh, I don't.
What is your AP?
Oh, I did not just see that Lucian.
They picked a full AD comp into 4 tanks.
2 tanks, technically a bruiser and a
Swain
high
technically is a tank.
high HP main.
Yeah. Okay, let's get into it. I hope that's not Ornn mid, but if it is,
Pretty sure it's
and
Ornn
if that's
mid.
a Lucian mid, I'm sorry Lucian, you're gonna get your butt kicked.
I mean, Lucian should hold prio,
He should.
and I
But-
was thinking a pick that is similar to Lucian. You know, holds a lot of early game damage and prio. But I was hoping a mage. I wasn't hoping an ADC.
Yeah.
I was hoping something maybe like Syndra, because Syndra does really good into Ornn.
Syndra, Orianna will work here.
Orianna enables your team fight.
Echo will be perfect here.
Echo can. I feel like Echo kind of hard into this comp because you're not going to be able to
That
Thanos
is
that
true.
much or what. There we go. Chat.
Full
Mouse
AP
hard.
Malphite.
Malzahar
Oh,
would be
Malphite,
good
yeah.
here.
Yeah,
Aatrox mid. Aatrox.
Aatrox mid.
Unless Feathers and Darken are going to switch last.
That is actually I played Aatrox mid when I like the second year I started playing League, and it's pretty fun. I like it, but I don't think you win against Lucian if it's Lucian mid.
I feel like Lucian has a better time on kill threat against Aatrox than he does Ornn. I feel like it's kind of hard to kill the Ornn because he's so tanky, and can rotate to these river fights without even being there because of his Ornn horn. Aatrox, if you make him useless, then he's useless. And Lucian has a lot of mobility, has the ability to dodge out on Aatrox's Q and his W. So, I mean, Lucian has the ability to do what he wants, but is it gonna stay like that for the entire game? Most likely not.
I just have to say, if RTR, if Rising Tide Reapers lose this game, you guys need to go back to the drawing board, because there's gonna be a main reason for you guys to lose this game if you guys lose this game, and that is because you picked an all AD comp. Yes, Kai'Sa is a hybrid. Kai'Sa can build AP and AD.
So is
that is
Cho'Gath.
true. But the issue with that
It won't be
is-
consistent enough.
it's not consistent. Yeah, it's not consistent enough. You're not gonna do full AP damage like Swain and Nico's gonna do.
I will
Yeah.
say the one thing, you know, they don't have that much AD, I guess, for RAWR, but then again, Ornn, you know, he's an
Look at
AD,
Aatrox.
AP,
Aatrox is
assassin.
another AD champion.
Ornn is everything, and Sion does do quite a bit of damage himself if he can get a full combo off, so I mean, that kind of does constitute. I feel like in general, RAWR just kind of has it here. The last time I really feel like Rising Tide, it was their game to lose. Now I feel like it's kind of RAWR's game to lose. I feel like Rising Tide if they could snowball early game and just stomp, then they can win.
And not on top of them just being tanky and Joe, they have Ornn. Ornn items are so broken this season.
Ornaments, man.
They are so strong, and especially with champions like Aatrox, Nico, Sion, and Swain. If you give Sion an upgraded Sunfire Aegis, it's insane. Like Sion never's gonna die. If you give Swain a upgraded Leandres, it's insane.
Two dodgeable compositions for
Yeah.
solo queue, 2 games in a row.
If I saw that in my solo queue games, I would dodge. I would definitely do not want to play. I would play with the RAWR comp more than I would play with the RTR comp. And someone just and Psychonaut just brought in chat and in Twitch chat, and he brings up a good point. Why don't you ban Sion? Why leave the Sion open? Why ban Zac? Or Galio, or Malphite? Ban the Sion.
I mean, allowing
You
Malphite,
know they're gonna probably pick Sion.
but I mean, I feel like the Zac. I don't know. I feel like if you're more scared of the Zac than Sion, maybe. But I mean, there's a lot of places you can play against the Sion jungle, especially since he doesn't bring flash. Keep his jungle warded. Make sure you clear out wards as much as possible so you can't get those TP flank in. There's so much counterplay here, but they just don't adapt. It's like NA at Worlds. They don't know how to adapt.
You know what RTR comps reminds me of? It reminds me of the time and then what RAWR's. It reminds me of last split finals and pre-made. Winner Booze versus who was it? Winner Booze versus I think it was Tigers. Yeah. It was Winner Booze versus Tigers. Winner Booze for some reason brought an entire AD comp, and Tigers was just able just to run them down because they had Ornn, Dallas on Ornn who just built straight tank.
Tigers lost the early game, but then they just came back when. I feel like this comp has more ability to win than the Winner Boost comp, but I still feel like it's not great either. Still not good. that's a small light at the end of the tunnel.
Because if that Swain can get ahead, it's gonna be game over for RTR.
Yeah, definitely gonna be a very hard game. I feel like for RTR, if they can bring up the early game, then maybe they could take something out of this. But spectate delay is gonna be running out here in a few seconds, ladies and gentlemen. But please stick around until after the loading screen because you definitely do not want to miss this game.
I saw you smile from across the bar. Yeah, she was pretty and so close but so far. She flipped her hair and I thought this can't be true. How does a man like me get someone like you? And then she looked at me and I was confused. Everyone here can't be the one that she'll choose. And I looked back and saw the spark in her eyes. This can't be real, my head's telling me lies. Just like that, you're coming closer to me. Come shake me, grab me, so I wake up from this dream. I can't breathe, come at me. I don't know if I can speak. Then she said, come with me and let's be free.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to LAS Premade Week 4. We're currently in Game 2 of a Best of 3 series between RAWR and Rising Tide Reapers. On the blue side, we have the team that's currently leading 1-0, and that is RAWR. Red side, we have Rising Tide Reapers here, which are currently going for a 5-point here by a 5-man, full-man invade. It look like VAR. That's exactly what they're gonna do.
One of the things I love watching Doki do is that I love how Doki just runs into the enemy jungle, acting like he doesn't know what he's doing, and just tries to bait the enemy team. I have seen it multiple times. He has done it against Shark Seedling.
There they
exactly
go.
like
Just
this.
like Flash is gonna be there. We'll be able to start off with the pool gonna come in. Oh no!
In death, the veil.
Like I
Two
said,
kills gonna go over to VAR.
one thing I have to commend him for this man, what he does, he can bait.
I don't understand. Why do they think that's free? Why do they think that like, oh, I'm okay. I'm gonna walk into. I know you see me because I see you. I'm gonna walk into your
He
backside.
does it every game, and no one can pick up on it, and I do not understand why. I'm sorry, if I see a Scion just casually walking in my jungle, do not want to chase him down.
My head hurts.
And then only one summoner was used that entire fight from RAWR, and that was Aatrox's Flash. And then one summoner used from RTR was Lucian. Flash.
Alright. It was early game. Lucian just wanted to trade him mid lane. No flash on both the mid laners.
Mhm.
Alright. Very easy gank mid lane. Doki's very low HP, which means Lord can
have
go
to
through and
say,
invade.
I do not agree on the Ignite on Lucian. I'd rather him brought the Barrier instead. I think Barrier is 10 times better if you're going
It's
mid.
it's ignite into Aatrox, so I feel like it's actually better here.
You really
Because you have more kill
I
on
can see
Aatrox.
that. I can see that since Ignite does do 2 damage and Aatrox can heal, I can see the Ignite working. It's just
Oh,
when
no.
Aatrox get on top of you, just like as you saw, as he kind of he forces Lucian to use all his potions so early.
I just realized Darkin, since he got a kill, he recalled and he actually came back to lane with a claw.
Yeah, and he's already, catching up.
Big Speed gonna land a face breaker there. Here comes the haymaker followed by that. Quite a bit of damage.
Really good haymaker by Benji. I have to say, Big is a really good support. He knows when to engage, he knows when to disengage, he knows how to use his abilities correctly and set up for his. And I feel like if they play around set, RTR can have an easy time.
There you go. Trades into the top lane here. It's opposite side of this map, of this game. It is going to be Neptune going up quite far. You have to be really careful into Feathers and Fur. It is still an Ornn. Even though you are Cho'Gath, be very, very careful. Getting quite a bit of damage back, but it does not matter. He just heavily loses
Cho'Gath
out on
needs
that
to
trade.
be careful. Ornn has 2 assists, but Cho'Gath just has a death. Yes, you're gonna probably win the CS game.
Oh, the auto cancels! Walking outside of the auto range. I feel like he gets that off. Maybe he can go for the ignite. Ooh, Top's got to be really careful. One more auto is gonna be flash, but the auto still goes off of that one. No auto cancel going out to the top side, and this is gonna be Ornn getting a solo kill up there.
I just looked in the chat. Psychonog is correct. If Scion can land a full kill on you, you are CC longer than a Morgana kill.
It is a pretty long CC, and it can hit multiple people.
And that is because it takes a long time for it to charge up.
Oh, Lord, gonna topic right into Doki here. And Doki has to be really careful. Remember, he doesn't have flag. See if they can abuse that fact here, but Aatrox is on the way, and they can't.
And he just
walks
walks out for free.
He just walks out.
I'm so confused. Why didn't Cho'Gath put a rupture? Why didn't it? Okay.
Walks out for free. Good pass TP there. I'm pretty sure they kill him.
As I was saying before, the reason why Scion is really good for that Doki knows play Scion really well is because Doki likes to hide in bushes or he likes to hide on the side.
Ooh, flash. Flash, you're gonna be there, and it's gonna be a flash straight coming out from Winter there. Winter is going to land. The Haymaker is there. Doesn't matter if you throw exhaust out. Haymaker does 2 damage, and it's gonna be a kill going over to Big Speed.
that was a really nice set play. I love how he did the face break and then he did the haymaker. It was so good.
Dragon is going to be started out from Doki there, and Lord actually did reset. It should be Free Drake going over to RAWR, and I mean that's what they want. They want those early Drakes.
Mm-hmm. Again, like I was saying, like we were saying before, RAWR just has really good objective control with their visions. Doki TPs on the right times over objectives, and he can see them with his TP. Now, do I agree with him bringing TP? No, I still don't agree with it. That's just my personal preference. I think Flash is so much better than TP than Smite TP.
Oh no, Grub gonna be able to get knocked right outside of his E. He's gonna go ahead and use the calling, getting quite a bit of damage back out onto Darkin there. Actually, a lot of damage. Oh my goodness. There's gonna be a full splash coming out from Darkin. It is still gonna be double some straight from Gerb, and Darkin gonna have to trade out his flash and his ultimate there. Make sure
And
you
you
stay
look at the
alive.
itemization.
Lucian first back execution.
Gerb, yeah, he first back executioner, so this is really good for him actually to buy that early. A lot of people do not buy executioners early.
The on-horn is going to be sounded there, and it's going to land right onto Gerber there. And
That was just
Fat Orn.
that was a late ping by Cho'Gath saying that Orin was not there. I don't know if that was miscommunication or something, but as I was saying, but Lucian buying that early execution is just really good. It keeps him in, be able to stay in lane longer with the Aatrox.
Hey, I do gotta say one thing. Although VAR is up a dragon, and they are up 3 kills, the gold is still even.
But
Alright.
is true. I do
Top
agree
lane
there.
is CSing like a god, and jungle and top also have a CS lead. So, although it does look like RTR is absolutely trolling and just not doing good right now, because they do not have kills, they're actually about even in gold.
They have 1 kill. They had 1 kill on set.
Game's still not over. There's also a lot of standing CS for a typical right now, holding the freeze for as long as they possibly could there. And I mean, it's such a big CS lead. It's so huge.
Yeah, and you do not want to see
Oh
that.
no, Gerb! He's gonna have to walk out of this one. The E was already been used there, and I mean, if Duncan actually had Ignite there, that was a kill there, but
And
he also
I do
went
agree.
damage, but he did go Ninja Tabby. I will always call it
If you
Ninja
didn't
Tabby.
realize, 3 members on RAWR has TP.
Yeah.
Again. And I feel like they do this on purpose, so they can
look at
have
Bixby.
TP
Look,
early.
Astro threw the W into the enemy sided bush, but the center bush, which did used to be a thing, before season 10. He's sitting there and he's waiting, but he won't be able to be spotted out. Almost a good play coming out from Bixby, and not gonna be able to find anything.
One of my
Wait, he's
things
going for the Hex Flash there, and he's gonna be able to find a really good face breaker. He's gonna be there. Maybe a kill going on to Astro. The Haymaker's there, but the kill instinct is also there. Typical gonna be able to find a kill there, and 2 kills gonna go to the spot side, and they're just absolutely smashing both CS and kills.
One of my things I always do whenever I play ADC or support, I always ward the middle bush. You need to ward the middle bush because people abuse the middle bush so much.
Ooh, Nep's gonna be able to dodge right side of that knock up there. And Bixby gonna have to be really careful. He's gonna have to try to run away from Dark, and the blast point is up. Will be able to use it, and the E's gonna be able to dodge out the Nevermore, not gonna land there. And Lucian is now here waiting for Darkin to come back to land. He does have a level lead, and now has only like a little bit of a CS lead. So
This set
no.
is, I have to say, Big is a monster when it comes to tanking. And I feel like
this
Set is a perfect champion for him.
Yeah, this guy is just
Especially
an
in this game.
absolute
And
monster.
Set, the reason I said Set is perfect because the Set can either ult the Orin or the Scion or
Oh,
maybe
no.
the Aatrox.
Feathers flashed, actually. Wait a second, Feathers. I don't think you needed to flash there, but I think you would think you enough even to the execute. You also had Scion up there. I don't know.
That
I
is
feel like
true.
Feathers might have been fine there. I want to say my Feathers was walking up so far. You save you save your W for when the Rupture comes out from Neptune. And Coins are going to be used here. A lot of damage going to go on to Darkin here. The flash is not up. The Ignite is, but he did not throw the Ignite off. But it will push Darkin out of lane there. He does have TP coming up in a few seconds here.
This is one of my things about when if you like.
Ooh, Bixby going to go for another play here. He was not able to find Astro, and here comes Doki. Bot lane always falls for this simple trick. Doctors hate this for sure. It is going to be Doki picking up a kill onto Bixby. A flash coming out from Typical to make sure he does not get knocked up by that Q.
And yeah, and I have to commend that for Doki. Doki knows how to use his ults. He knows how to use, because as soon as he ults, he starts throwing his Q. And that forces that forced Big to flash.
Yeah, Big also ended up picking up the clone, it seemed like, instead of actually picking up, the Nico. And I feel like that just put them in a very weird position there. And Goob now taking on, beating into the mid lane here. Fresh reset came out from Darkin, but he no longer does have TP. His flash just came off.
And this is why I say this matchup is hard. Yes, you are a range champion into a melee champion, but Aatrox's kit is just built for these kind of things.
Drake is actually going to go over to RTR there, which is good. They don't want RAWR to Drake stack. They don't want RAWR to Drake stack at all. So even just delaying 5 minutes is a lot for Rising Tide.
It looks like just like the first game. It looks like RAWR, they get the first dragon, but they give the second dragon, and I feel like I don't know if they do it on purpose, but I feel like they do it on purpose so they can get the 3 dragons of the same dragon. And with this time, it is Mountain Soul,
which is definitely what they want for this
which
game.
is definitely what they want. If they get Mountain Soul, it's game over for RG.
The team gotta be really careful. Darkin is now coming up to this top side here. Good, see if he can pick up a kill onto Doki here. If you can flash auto, he will be able to pick up the kill. And he will be able to pick up the kill, but there's gonna be trading kills into the top side as well. Darkin taking 3 tower shots, but it does not matter. Darkin was forced to use flash there. Doki actually got Shelly off there.
He put the Shelly off before he died. I didn't know he even could do that. Wow. And he's trading tower plates.
This guy's a genius.
He's 5 head. Like, I do not know you can put down Rift Herald when you are in Sion's passive.
Yep, it does help the gold there. The gold deficit go a little bit more for RAWR there, but it's still a very close game because look at the CS at bot. Look how large it is. Mid now is a 10 CS, and jungle has about a couple camp lead too. And
But
I mean,
you gotta look at it too. But the gold lead is neck and neck. Even though RAWR is losing in CS, they're still keeping up in gold lead because they're trading really good kills or really good tower plates. And then it looks like Doki is just gonna tank the tower.
I know exactly what he's doing. He's gonna kill himself
He's
here.
gonna kill himself, and then he's gonna do more damage to the tower to secure that tower.
Yep, 610 gold to him there, which heavily increases the gold deficit.
Doki is a monster. I have to say that.
Why am I casting this game? I just saw a Sion running down mid to kill himself. I'm watching Inting Sion in a competitive game. That was something I thought I would cast here, but we do have Darkin into the bot side jungle here. Goob is possibly sniffing him out here. Neptune going to go for a trade onto Feathers. He is down in level, so he's got to be really careful, but he is winning out into this trade here. Finds it to this top side here, but he's got to be really careful. The voice is going to be used. Feathers about half HP here. They're all going to be used on Winter. He's very low on mana. Goob is going to head right back into the mid lane and push this out as Darkin is onto the bot side looking for a play.
That was a really good engage by Big. He forced the Nico to ult, and then he just got out there quickly.
Pushed Nico and Winter and Darkin to ult. But here comes the on-top of onslaught coming out from Doki here. Typical could be able to dodge by. Outside of that, with really good killer instinct, Doki has to be really careful. He's taking too much. The exhaust is going to be used, but one water should be enough. I'm pretty sure he falls down for this though, but he gets so much. He gets an ignite, he gets an exhaust, he also picks up a kill onto Doki there, extending that lead ever so slightly more there, and Goob is looking for a kill onto Winter. He doesn't have flash up, No ignite from Goop though, but the Coling is doing so much damage. Won't be able to pick up a kill there. Bixby still no flash. I don't think he can pick up a kill to Astro though, but still really good rotation off Goop there and a really good just outplanted under the tower for a typical.
I do agree, and also I just saw Kaisa just picked up a Kraken Slayer. You do not want to pick up your Kraken Slayer this early. You need to pick up your Serrated Dirk so you can get that Q buff.
Yeah, especially since you're so far ahead, you definitely have a lot more kill threat
You're
for that.
super far
You
ahead.
actually,
you're
actually
winning
deal
CS.
more damage with the extra AD with the Q buff because you have lethality. You're pretty much deleting armor off someone you're attacking. Plus, the Q buff doubles the damage you do with your Q. It just does so much more. Yes, you don't do that true damage, but at this early on, the true damage is only 97 every third attack, and you're about doing way more than that with the serrated Dirk lethality plus the Q upgrade.
No,
Plus,
I
it
do
also
have
sets
to
you up
say-
for collecting.
I do have to say I'm glad she went Kraken this game because if she would have went Gale Force, they would have had no damage in the late game because Kraken does do true damage, and that's what you need against these tanks. You need the true damage.
Typical is now auto top. Then again, here's the other thing, right? You can't shove waves as fast. You don't take turrets as fast because you're lacking damage. And I mean that wave would have been cleared out already if he had just straight. He also has double daggers, so he's actually not going to get his Q upgrade until his third item.
Which is really bad because you want your Q upgrade as soon as possible on Kaisa. Kaisa's damage is all about her Q.
Drake is going to be started up. This is going to be a 5v5. Ulta up on both sides. Everyone has ultimate grip. Almost has flash coming up. Neptune gonna be really good. The Onhorde is going to be sounded there. It's only going to find two there, but they're going to go for the engage. Are coming out from the sound, but a really good clumped up here. Looks like going to be a really good fight going for Allies and Tide Reapers there. Really good eat out from Gerb there as Doki's trying to beat the next target here. Typical. Really good dodge outside of that one. Going to do the dodge outside of the E2, but I don't think it's going to matter. And it looks like RAWR actually won that fight as they had no target prior at all.
And that's exactly what I was saying when Kaisa did no damage. Kaisa's going for a Gwynsus. Why are you going for a Gwynsus?
Definitely not what you want in this situation.
No, you need the you need your collector.
This game is definitely something.
And then you see Vi going for a Divine Thunder, which is good and all, but I don't really think that's what you need right here in this game.
Vi's just trying to do as much damage to tanks right now, which I mean, I guess that's fine if you
don't have a front line.
The one thing I actually have a problem for both these teams really. For both, I mean, I guess not for Doki because he did do that gank at bot lane, but Lord has not ganked. You're playing Vi and you're not ganking. It's a fake gank once you get 6.
Vi is a really good gap closer when it comes to ganks because you know Vi can just press R and you know you automatically CC'd because she knocks you up, or Vi can just hold her Q down and then she just launches that, which is really good because you can do it from like a bush or you can do it from like a side lane or wherever you can do it.
And then once you hit 6,
with it.
you get assault and battery. It's a free game.
Optimizing Vi as much, which is throwing your team behind. Which is giving Doki the opportunity.
Elmo is gonna land Vi on Kaisa there, and that is all that is needed. Typical is gonna fall down there. And it looks like Duncan's gonna look for something onto Gerb, but Gerb doing a lot of damage. Coin is going to be used. Look at that damage that we'll be able to pick up the kill. He's gonna walk into the bush, and Gerb is gonna decide to against it and not go for the solo kill.
That was a really good trade by Gerb, but I have to say,
really good vision play from Darkin.
Darkin did really well. He forced the Lucian to ult. Yes, he had to use ult to save himself, but getting that Lucian ult, it's really good for
back up.
RAWR.
Really good Never Board pull into the decimating smack. Bixby almost taken down there. Haymaker's gonna be fully charged here. They're not gonna be able to find much else onto the siege here.
And it's looking like what I expected this game to turn out to be. This is what happens when you have a full AD comp into a into tanks. Like
Okay, so the other thing I kind of have the issue about the builds that typical. Now that I think about it, is that Rage Knife, aka Gwynsus, whatever you want to call your crit rate isn't converted into magic damage. It's converted to physical damage.
yeah, is it converted into on hit damage? So your physical damage. So you're
Ooh, we
not
could be
gonna
looking for a
use
kill cute.
nice. That was
I
really
just
nice.
wasn't expecting that. I just like my bad. I did put two to two together. I did think Neptune was just gonna walk up and kill Darkin.
But he did. That was a
Good
really
good
good
job,
R
Neptune.
used
Good
for
job.
Cho'Gath. That it gives a stack for Cho'Gath. Cho'Gath is on how many stacks is he at now?
Ooh, the R coming out from the Scion there. I guess he wanted to run away from Lord to make sure he did not get initiated on it. I mean, he has to do that since
Cho'Gath
Kaito
is on
can
6
join the
stacks
fight.
right now.
6 stacks right now for the Cho'Gath. He still has 1 stack left.
Which is really good for Cho'Gath, like because Cho'Gath can start getting tanky and start team fighting. But as I was saying before,
Definitely, I feel like you gotta.
Gunsu converts to on hit. Yes, that's really good for some champions. It's not good for Kaisa. I don't like the Gunsus. I do not.
I
There's
don't
no
like.
point of going
I
it.
think new Glensus is. I wouldn't say only good, but I feel like the only reason you would go Glensus is if you're going the Muramana build, the on hit build, because then your autos would just be doing so much damage, and you're not even worrying about the crit at that point. You're more worrying about how much
But
damage
the
you're doing per
issue
auto.
with this, with their comp, is that yes, you're going Gwensus, but you are not going to do any damage to
Because it
Orin
gets converted to
Scion
physical damage.
because it gets converted to
You
physical
should have
damage. And
gone Collector straight into an Ashes too.
look, Doki's going into the Frozen Heart. Doki knows that he says, "I'm going to go to Frozen Heart. I'm going to reduce your attack speed
Bixby, gotta be
and
really
engage."
careful. Post the flash.
So Lucian and both Kaisa are not going to do any damage.
Oh, Lucia gotta be really careful. Flashy coming out from Feathers here. The Ornament is gonna be sounded here. He's gonna be stunned up and it's gonna be a shutdown going over to the Aatrox here. But Kaisa, Killer Instinct in, but here comes Neptune. He's gonna get Eid from Astro here. He's gonna walk right into Winter. The Nevermore's gonna land, but so is the Rupture. Neptune looking for possibly a solo kill here. Astro in a really bad position. Pop-Off's gonna be used, not gonna be able to find anything. Still looking for something onto this tanky Cho'Gath, but you cannot start things off there. But it is still a kill lead going over to RAWR there, and the Drake is now spawned here. It is going to be soul point for them, and I don't think there's anything Rising Tide can really do here.
And again, this is exactly what's happening,
They're gonna go
last
for it.
game.
They're gonna try to stop.
They're gonna try to stop him.
Yeah, the Solidar is gonna go on to target. He's gonna be forced to flash here. Bixby gonna go for the Lawbreaker here. Nico almost ended up falling down there, but look at them clumping up. The CCJ is real. The wobble combo, the black dog coming out from Neptune. Light trying to do some big damage, but the same coming out here. They're gonna be sacked to and be knocked up, but it doesn't matter. Team Front One is gonna go over to RAWR. It's gonna be one kill going over the typical, but the trick goes over to RAWR as well. It's gonna be so point, and overall Team Fight win.
And this could be either Baron or Inhibitor.
Oh, another fight's gonna go back onto them. Duncan is gonna be the target. They pick up a kill on him. No, they cannot. Gerb. You have flash and ignite up, man.
He has not. I have not seen this man use Ignite once over.
Saving flash for game 3.
Saving Flash and apparently someone's having connection issues on the RAR side, so we're gonna be paused for a second. So what are your thoughts? I like I said, as I was saying before, like as you saw, Lucian and Kaiser was doing a lot of damage to Aatrox, but they could not kill the Aatrox. If you cannot kill Aatrox, you're not going to be able to kill Cyan or Orin.
He had ignite up. He still has ignite up. He also has flash up. They had every ability to kill that Aatrox there.
Yeah, no, I do agree.
Gold. That's 2 kills worth.
Well, he had flash, he had ignite, he had R. Kaisa had R, and the mana to do it. They could have killed Aatrox. They could have killed Aatrox, and they could have killed Orin too, if they played it correctly. But since he refused to use his flash and his ignite, he just died.
Yeah, definitely being greedy when you don't need to be greedy.
But I have to say, again, MVP for me so far in this game has to go to Doki. Like, Doki is playing out of his mind on this Scion pick. Like, you wouldn't expect it. You would not expect Scion jungle, of all things, with a Smite TP to work, but the way he plays this champion is insane. He TPs on the objectives when he needs to be on the objectives. He ults when he needs to ult, and then he just turns team fights around easily.
I mean, like I said, RTR is in a whoa. They don't know how to adapt. They don't.
That is true.
Like they know this is what Doki plays. Everyone at this point knows in Legends this is what Doki does. I'm not even part of the LAS draft, but I'm a coach. But I don't even play in the leagues that he plays in. I play in the draft in the pre-made for LRS,
Let me
and
give
I
you
know
a
what this
prime-
guy does.
Let me give you a prime example of what happened with the
Hold that
Guardians.
out. Maybe looking for a play here. The Onon is going to be triggered here. Really good cancer coming out. Showstopper to make sure he stops that show from happening. But he's going to be bursted down. Haymaker is going to be used. Actually, going to be able to pick up kill in typical, but they're going to be able to get a trade kill there. Lord is just going to be able to pick up that one. Doing quite a bit of damage onto Duncan. Your Neptune is now in the middle of 4. Looks like he is going to end up falling down here. It is going to be 1 for 3 in favor of RAWR there.
But as I was saying, like a prime example of how you deal with Doki is what I mean is what the Panthers did. You need a counter jungle. You need to go in on with your members. You need to shut him down on jungle. Force him to either use TP early or ult or abilities early. But RTR just can't figure that out. RTR thinks that oh well this is a guy who brings TP Smite. He doesn't know what he's doing. No, Doki knows how to play. He's been I think he's been playing for years with TP Smite. So the man knows how to play with TP Smite.
Maybe possibly looking for something here. The Koenigsegg is gonna go off here. He's gonna go ahead and use his ult and just get out of there for free. No one's in front of him to stop him from just onslaughting out.
And like I said before, he doesn't need the Smite when he plays Scion, because Scion's unstoppable unless he hits something. Or he hits a wall.
Just going to land though, possibly looking for something out there, but just can't really do anything there. He's so tanky at this point.
And
so
yeah, and if you
up in 50
look at the
seconds,
builds.
and RTR cannot lose this.
Look, Orin items are already coming out. He already upgraded the Gorge Drinker on Darkin, which is giving Darkin 60 extra attack, 550 health, 25 ability hits, and 250.
Oh, possibly looking for something here. Actually, is going to be bursted down near the bot. Boss might going to be able to go off. Doki no longer has his ultimate about to come up in about 15 seconds. I don't think it's going to be enough. Showstopper is going to be used salt and battery as well. Could this be a start of a comeback story for RTR? Who knows? Inventor's gonna be next cycle up. It's gonna be the Haymakers there, shut down, gonna go over to Bigsby, but it's gonna be Duncan and Feathers up
look
in
at
the
the
top
side
of
lane.
the side. TP coming out from Feathers makes it that tower does not fall. Drake is gonna be in the sights of Price and Tide Reaper. Someone's got the back for this top lane and for this Aatrox here. Flash coming out from Feathers is not gonna be able to stop the back. Duncan gonna be the next target. Knuckle down's gonna be used if they can't pick up. No, he will not be able to, but we'll force a flash instead. They may be able to pick up a kill onto Duncan here. They have a pincer attack on him. Ballbreaker is going to be used. They have the blast man just in case. They can easily pick them off here. Turgas on his way. Here comes the set. Why aren't you going in? You have numbers advantage. Fight this fight. Go for it. He's so far up. The TP's up, but it doesn't matter. You can win this fight so fast. You have the numbers advantage. Use it. Take advantage of it.
I'm legit confused. Again, and then there's Doki. He TP'd the top lane to take the inhibitor. Why their team is just
Be able to take up the inhibitor though. The Rupture's not gonna be able to land. I mean, even if he dies, I feel like he gets the inhibitor guaranteed though. Will this be worth it? We'll just have to see though. But can they possibly stop him from taking it? Stack your CC, but it's not going to be enough. The kill's gonna go over to Neptune. He does take the inhibitor. Is now double inhib, not triple just quite yet. Whether that'll be worth will be completely dependent on RAWR if they can take advantage of the bot bot lane pressure, but in general, what a head spinning fight.
And that's a prime example why you do not go two ADCs. Like, you went two ADCs and you saw how long it took you to kill Doki with just two items, two full items. It took you like 30 seconds to kill him. You wasted 30 seconds to kill Doki because you decided to go a comp that made no sense when you saw RAR literally last game with a full tank comp.
Oh my goodness, man. I mean, I feel like I'm freaking that Dignitas game versus Team Liquid. I'm like screaming out like what RTR needs to do, but they were so hesitant. Why are you so hesitant? You have the numbers advantage. Yes, they
Yes,
have
the
everything on
Aatrox is
Doki.
6-1. Like, I get it. Like, when Aatrox is
I
dead,
don't
you
care.
can
It's
comp.
4v2.
But you had so many people there.
Oh no, Typical is gonna fall down here. He tried to go in onto when Typical was actually disguised as Astro. The pop loss is gonna be used. Neptune is taking up so much damage. Circus on the front line here, always gonna be used from Darkin. Really good E's gonna be there, but it's so tough. Oh my goodness, look at that damage. But then get out of this one. This will be a really good fight for them. Left is gonna be able to find two. Feathers trying to do as much damage as possible. Really good flash outside of Neptune. It is going to be a 1-for-1. And I mean, if you're in a situation that was a Vice type Reapers in, you take those. But they're gonna try to go for this third and final inhib. They have to reset fast. They gotta get these supers out, and they gotta be able to find a play here. Another emitter is responding. Big Space looking for a play here. They're clearing the minions. Maybe they can find some hit feathers, but the top inhibitor is about to fall. It won't be triple inhib. Mid inhibitor is about to respond here, so they do have to deal with double supers on every link, thankfully. But still, that's top and bot supers. Nexus Tower almost ended up falling, but is still alive. Voidseeker's gonna find his target. And Rising Tide Reapers are not done yet. This makes back will be able to find, but only one. That's on the take. That's not where you want to start things off from. Divide taking so much damage. Doesn't have to be able to find the ultimate. He's trying to do as much damage and as much as he can. He's about to fall down. He will end up falling down. The Haymaker is there, but it's going to be Bixby falling down. It's going to be Neptune falling down. The Ono is going to be triggered, and that's going to be Gerb falling down here. And it is now a 1v4. It is a typical versus the world here. To see if we can possibly stop this from happening, though. Really good touch up time that more, but the E is not going to be able to land. Neither is the Vision of the Empire. He's doing as much damage as he possibly can. Can he pick up the kill? The really good flash. Oh, can he pick up the kill? At least on Duncan. He's going to switch targets onto Astro, but the E is going to land. It's 9 seconds on board, but I think this is GG going over the wall.
For RAR. And one of the issues I have, I just saw, Kaisa built a Phantom Dancer. She has no attack. It was GG from the beginning.
Oh, it's actually Boris Stiff.
Yeah.
It's Boris.
It's Boris Diff. Or you can say Doki Diff.
I want to say Doki Diff, but I feel like there's so many things that RTR did, like not fighting that 4v2 when they clearly would win it. No, it's fine. I shouldn't get tilted on stream, but really good game going over to RAWR in general.
I do have to say,
Really
RAR
good game.
did amazing today. They they had a plan, they had a game plan, they knew what they were gonna do, they executed really well. RTR, go back to the drawing boards. You need to rethink your comp, rethink your builds. I don't know you were going for that Kaisa build. I don't know why you had two attack speed items. Yes, they did just change PD and gave PD 20 damage for
Oh yeah,
Phantom
2080.
Dancer, but that's not no. That's not gonna help you at all. You need the Q upgrade. You need it. Kaisa needs it. That's why you did not kill Aatrox. If you had that Q upgrade, you would have killed Aatrox.
That she did have the Q upgrade at that point,
Did she?
but it was
Okay.
so late into the game until she got the Q upgrade that it just didn't matter.
But if I have to say MVP, I say for RTR again, big. He did amazing. He knew how to engage. He knew how to disengage. He knew when the ult, when not the ult. As you saw, he picked up Sign and one shot of Nico.
Yeah,
That He flattened that lizard. that she did not stand a chance when Sion's butt hit that ground.
Yeah, no, it was all over for that Nico at that point. But Bigsby definitely did a really good job on RTR, but RAW just again unorthodox play. I mean, I feel like this one was a little less unorthodox,
Yeah,
but definitely a lot of things that were able to be taken advantage of that RTR again didn't take advantage of.
mhm.
It's like they're playing in solo queue, man.
But like I said, RAR, you played an amazing game. You knew what you were doing. RTR, you remind me of TSM and Worlds.
Damn, that's woo.
Hey, you try to go in, you could not adapt. There was no reason for you to leave Champions open when you saw Champions open. Nico should have been gone, and also Sion should have been gone. 2 comfort picks should have been gone right away. But you left them open.
It was definitely a nice try from OTR. We love you all. I know we're being hard on you, but we do love you. Thanks for playing in this tournament. I do think in general there's a lot of things that need to be done for the team, especially after tonight. But in general, both teams played still really well. A lot of things can be worked on, but in general, GG's to both teams. Congratulations
GG's.
to RAR.
Yes, congrats. And then don't forget to vote for player of the game, and then we're just gonna go on a short break.
I was checking out pictures of us. I never realized what I have lost. Now I know it, and it is so insane how I treated this like a game. You were my help when no one else were there to share affection. So let's try
Alright guys, so welcome back to my little analyst desk. So, for the final game of the day, we have chosen Mr. Feathers and Fur, the top laner of Team RAWR, as our player of the game, going 5-1-15, just completely obliterating his lane and helping his team out throughout the game. Especially through mid-game, he was just there when his team needed him. He made the rotations, was able to get some pretty massive Ornn ultimates, and like last game, he was just there when his team needed him a lot, like just before the other laner was ever able to be there. He was just mentally prepared to be where he needed to be before his lane partner was. So he was just constantly there, able to affect the game much more than his partner was, even though the other guy was a lot farther ahead throughout most of the game. But other than that, we do have a couple things to touch on before we do end off tonight. So any comments before we do end?
I have to say, like I said, kudos to RAWR. They played an amazing game. They knew exactly what they're doing. RTR, you did good the first game. You had the lead. You had the early lead. You knew exactly what your win con was. And then for some reason, you guys decided not to play around it. I feel like if you want to choose champions that don't really want a team fight, then try to pick like split pushing champions. Like I don't think like Cho'Gath. He did a better job the second game being in the fights, but in the first game he was always split pushing.
Mm-hmm. So,
And that's exactly what Roy wanted you to do.
I do think the Cho'Gath pick was not the strongest. He is a very strong tank at the moment. He did receive some nerfs because of that, but the champion overall just didn't fit what they needed as a team. Because of what they saw in the draft with the Scion being picked, they needed to pick stronger laners to be able to help invade and shut him down. So he's not able to make those plays with the teleport, with the Scion R from out of vision. And I think vision control is definitely something they weren't able to get a lot of. They definitely lacked that, and that's why they lost so many objectives. They gave away 2 free Barons in Game 1, and also a couple of free Drakes in Game 2. They always did manage to get the second Drake, but that doesn't matter when the other team is able to get the first, and everything after that as well.
Yeah, I do agree. I have to say, like I said, the MVP for RTR had to be their support. Big played out of his mind both games. He did really good setups. I just think that RTR's ADC needs to go back to the drawing board. I don't know why they were focusing on attack speed items than actual damage items. I feel like if you would have went the Kraken was fine, but if what you should do on Kaisa is that you should go Noon Quiver, Pickaxe, Serrated Dirk. Get your Q upgrade early, then get Kraken Slayer, and then you can just pop off and you can carry the game.
Overall, I do think the itemization was a little iffy. The Rage Blade overall doesn't scale very well into teams that do stack armor, mainly because it is an additional little bit of physical damage on top instead of it being like magic damage like it was before. So it is a little bit weaker in that sense, and especially into a team with double tanks as well as bruisers, they just weren't able to shut them down. And I do think a lot of the macro decisions made were from Doki himself. Doki Diff, as they are saying in chat, the guy was just able to make those decisions on the fly, like sneaking the Baron. Yeah, both Barons in Game 1. That was incredible. If he wasn't able to do that, I think it was a lot harder to play out that game. But one thing that enabled him to do that was a lot of the vision control that was very lacking from the side of the Reapers, Rising Tide Reapers. They just weren't able to see where they were. They had barely any vision throughout the entire game, mostly in their own jungle. They weren't able to place any deep wards. They did not walk as like a duo to be able to place vision so they can actually see Sion when he is pathing through the jungle. And the fact that he doesn't have flash, they should have been able to invade that and punish that. But they were too afraid to, and I think the Vi should have gone in and tried to make those early invades because she has the Hail of Blades. She also has armor shot, so she's very strong into the Sion, especially in the early phases of the game.
No, I think like you said, I think Doki did really well, and in both games, there are some questionable plays that he did do, in the second game, how he just ran into the enemy jungle. Like I said before, if I see a Scion running into my jungle, casually walking in my jungle, I'm not gonna chase him. I'm not gonna try to collapse him because I know it's a bait. I know like something's not up. Because why would a person who does not bring flash would be invading level 1?
Now, one thing that I did notice, especially in game one, like the presence of Alawi in both games. She was picked in game one, and she was also banned in game two. But I think the issue was she was picked in first phase, and they also had counterpick on the Alawi. So, other than the Mordekaiser, you cannot pick a champion such as the Cho'Gath into it. Even though Cho'Gath does scale very well, Alawi's damage scales incredibly well, especially into champions like him, because it does do percentage health from her E. So she's able to shred both him and the soul at the same time, which does add up over time. That's 80% of his health being shredded by just the soul alone. So the Cho'Gath pick, although it does scale very well, just wasn't the pick into the Alawi. What they needed to do was pick a ranged bully. Even Teemo would have been a better champion than the Cho'Gath, especially considering they were focusing on split pushing with that pick. So they should have just picked a champion that's very good at that, that's able to 1v1 the Alawi.
If they wanted to pick a tank champion a person who scales like Cho'Gath, Orin would have been better there, in my opinion, because you're giving your teammates the upgraded items.
Orin pick is very good. However, just like the Cho'Gath, it does not fare very well into the Alawi, especially if she is able to scale up into the late game. Tanks in general are just not the picks that you want to go because they just get shut down, and it's very difficult to play that out. However, the Alawi was relatively even or even a little bit behind throughout those stages of the game, but it was the fact that they were able to stack Barons, able to stack Dragons, that pushed them over the edge, that enabled the Alawi to do what she wanted. They did not build enough Grievous Wounds. The only Grievous Wounds that I saw from game one was mostly on the Cho'Gath, and he's not landing very much CC. He only has his Rupture that can actually proc the 60% Grievous Wounds, and without him there, the Alawi is just able to run free and heal.
And I do agree. And one of the things that a lot of people tell me, even Dallas, who's the captain of the Wolves, when Doki was on his team, would tell me, Doki's really objective based person. He likes objectives. He likes to get as much objectives as possible, and you can see it in those games.
Definitely.
He would throw. He would play in Team Scion just to get one objective.
And he wasn't punished for it, and I think that's a very big issue.
He was not punished, and you saw in late game he got so tanky that it took him almost 30 seconds to kill him, but he still got the inhibitor.
Definitely agree with that for sure. It's very, very difficult to play around once he's able to get those items. Sion scales very well with items because he has infinitely scaling HP just like a Cho'Gath. However, if he is not able to get those items in time, he's just a walking cannon minion. He does not do the damage that he's supposed to if he's behind on XP. He does not tank as well if he is behind on items. So they needed to focus on shutting him down. He was the primary shot caller for RAWR, and it showed. They were able to make a lot of big macro decisions because of poor vision control and poor communication from the side of RTR.
And also another thing is the fact that RAWR can just hold off the enemy team for so long, for their team to group up because they were so tanky, should have been a realization from RTR that maybe team fighting was not the thing. Maybe you needed to get the objectives. Maybe you needed to change your itemizations, because as you saw, that Aatrox who was topside, who was running through the bot side jungle, blue side jungle, should not have gotten out for free.
I do think that they
He
did
should have.
let him walk away. Even though he is strong, they also did have grievous wounds. And because of the nerfs on the champion itself as well as his itemization, I do think they definitely had a chance of killing him, especially as a group of four. They could have killed both the Ornn and the Aatrox if they just committed, but instead they tried to run away and engage on the Ornn after when it was a 3v2. Or, no, 3v1, my bad. But they should have engaged on the Aatrox and the Ornn at the same time because the Aatrox was about half HP. They also had a bunch of ways to apply grievous wounds at that point in the game. So all they had to do was focus down that Aatrox because without his healing, he's a very squishy champion. He is solely reliant on the fact that he can heal. If he doesn't have that, he is not a champion. He's a cannon minion without that healing. But they allowed him to do that throughout most of the game.
One of the things I love what RAR does. People always say, "Oh, it's ADC meta this meta. Oh, it's mages this meta. No, it's bruiser. No, it's tanks." And RAR proved it. It is tank meta. And the reason why it's tank meta is because the tank items are so good right now. And you get so tanky that you can just run you down.
I think the main
I
issue
agree.
is they were allowing the tanks to get those leads that they are not supposed to. A lot of the tanks, like especially the Ornn, ended up with a CS lead, ended up with an XP lead. They just had the ability to build those items fast. They are relatively expensive. They aren't cheap items, but if they are allowed to get them through playing micro their micro a lot better, they're just able to get that. They're just able to get those items a lot faster and make it a lot more difficult for anyone to kill them. And Kraken Slayer, sure, it is a tank spreading item, right? But if you are behind in levels and items, you're not going to do damage. Kraken Slayer scales off of total AD, 45%. So if you don't have any AD to back that up, you're just not going to do any damage with the item.
I was looking at Twitch chat and I saw someone the comment saying that the Sion was really bad. No, Sion was not bad. I'm sorry to tell you that if you were a player on the other team, you lost because you got out jungled by Doki. Doki out jungled you. Sion out jungled you. Out macroed you. Out team fights you. Yes, we were as casters we were on RAR's side a lot of the times because RAR played 10 times better than RTR. 10 times.
I would have given especially draft difference over to RTR for game one especially, but they just weren't able to follow through with that. They had the tools to win, they just weren't able to follow through. And with game two, they did have decent ways to kill them. They just weren't able to get the leads they needed to. Their team relied on snowballing, and although the Kai'Sa was far ahead, she just wasn't able to output the damage because she didn't have the people play around her. She needed the Vi to play around her. She needed the Set to play around her, which he did. Bigsby played incredibly well.
The thing is, Vi never ganked really once during the second game, or really the first game as much. While Doki was all over the place. And one of the thing is, like, I'm sorry if if Twitch is some people are Twitch chat is mad that that we're giving praise to Doki a lot. Is because Doki knows how to play with his team. This is a competitive team league. This is all about how you play with your team and how many wins you get. RAR is undefeated. RAR knows how to play with their team. Their captain is Doki.
So they do end off the week 3-0, which is a good scoreline, but it was definitely helpful that the solo lanes were able to stay ahead throughout most of the game. That did enable Doki to be able to do what he wanted to do, especially with his macro decisions. But without those macro decisions, the team falls apart there because they were behind in game one for most of the game, and if they did not have that leadership, I think shot calling is a lot more important than some people are giving it credit for. Without the shot calling that they did have, they wouldn't have been able to sneak two Barons. They wouldn't have been able to get a soul lead from bot lane deficits in both games. So although the Scion was not was not like the pea that broke the camel's back, he was the leader that led them through the desert.
No, and that's what I agree. Now, if you saw that in a solo queue game, if you saw RAR's comp in solo queue, yes, I would think that would definitely not work because you have a bunch of different players who can easily like when you're not together in a call, it's hard to communicate. But since RAR was in the same call, they were communicating as a 5-man. It's a lot different than solo queue.
I definitely agree. They were able to use their communication to their advantage. They played in pockets of vision. They did sweep a lot. However, I do think the support from RTR definitely did have a better vision score. He just wasn't
Yes,
able
I
to
do.
place those wards because he didn't have his team backing him up. Even as a set or as a Nautilus, you cannot walk into the enemy jungle on your own and expect to not get one shot, no matter how tanky you are, because you are a support, so you are behind on gold. So what they needed to do is walk as a duo, top laner support, jungler support, walk around, try and place that vision, and they weren't able to. All they ended up doing was placing vision in the entrances, nothing deep. So they weren't able to see where Sion was. They weren't able to figure out, oh, we can make a play on top side now that Sion is bot side. Oh, we can make a play bot side. We can dive them. Because they could have
I
easily dived the
one of
bot lane in game two many times because of how low they were, but they just never were able to because they never had track of Doki and they never had his TP timer on their minds.
and I have to say, RTR's bot lane had the better comp. Kaisa's set is so much better than Swain Nico. It was just the problem was is that they had no vision or jungle pressure because Vi was always topside. Vi was always for some reason in her topside jungle trying to I don't know exactly what she was doing, but she never gave bot the pressure that they needed to get Kaisa ahead. Because you can might probably get one kill, maybe two kills on bot lane, but the issue is you're not always going to be able to kill a Nico Swain because they have too many escapes and too many routes.
So I do think itemization was definitely an issue. So
Mhm.
I think that Kai'Sa should have definitely itemized into Grievous Wounds a lot earlier because she is laning into a Swain. She also has an
Mhm.
Aatrox in the mid lane who can just run at her at any point of the game. So even though she did not have the jungle support she needed, she could have done it on her own with better itemization as well as better communication. There were definitely points where they could have dove and they just never did it. They could have put stacked 3 waves and pushed bot and were able to dive it at, I believe, maybe 11-ish minutes. They definitely had the opportunity to dive because they had permanent pressure. And yes, micro-wise, I definitely do think the RTR bot lane went out on the day. However, micro is not everything. It's harder to teach macro decisions than it is to teach micro decisions. And sure, the bot lane played better. That's fine. But that doesn't mean anything if you aren't playing around objectives. And that's what they didn't do. They only got two total dragons combined throughout both games. And in a bot-centric meta, you need to be getting those drakes, especially since you have the lead, you have the priority. And unfortunately, they just didn't play around bot lane. Vi was sitting top for most of the game, and that isn't going to work very well. Top mid, you need to play around the strong lane, and in the other two lanes are very self-sufficient. With a Lucian into an Aatrox, Lucian generally wins that matchup. Or into Cho'Gath, it's a meatball fight. Nothing's going to happen there. Don't even touch it. So you go bot lane and help the Set and Kai'Sa, a super strong duo, eliminate a Swain Nico who scale generally well into the game and have a large AoE. So if they're not able to have those items, you can just kill them easily. Swain relies on items to be tanky, relies on levels to be tanky, and if you're able to deny him that, he can't do anything.
Yeah, no, and I agree. And one of the other things that someone said, yeah, Doki did get caught out a lot, but most of the time when Doki got caught out, he got out for free.
They
The
caught
only
him
really
out way
times
too late.
the only time he really died was during team fights. And guess what? The man TP'd back into the team fight
So
when
one
he
thing I
came
did
back in.
notice, they caught out Doki in the late game, and that means nothing into a Scion. You need to catch him
Mhm.
out when he's at his weakest, when he's farming. You saw that he got low multiple times throughout his clears, especially in game 2. He ended his red buff at about a fifth HP. So if they were able to place that vision, because they didn't know where he was, they didn't know he backed off and went to his red buff after the level 1 invade, where they did manage to grab 2 kills. They should have warded his blue buff and seen where he went, especially since Cho'Gath was not even there. He was full HP, he could have just walked down and placed a ward. But what ended up happening is they didn't do anything of that. After they knew the whole team base to spend their gold, they should have placed some vision and been ready for Doki because he has to walk to his red buff. He cannot base.
No, and I do agree. And yeah, like I said, that having mid win lane did help get the dragons. But what overall just got the dragons was because RTR never really they just could not kill RAWR. They were focusing the tanks, not the Aatrox. They were I think they would kill Nico, which was a good kill because Nico's the weakest. But after that, they would go straight after Ornn and Sion. Would have made no sense. Why are you focusing the tanks when you know that you cannot kill them when you're full ED?
They definitely did not play around the stronger early game that they did have. And because they are a snowballing comp, they have Kai'Sa, they have Lucian. Those champions have to snowball in order to be useful, especially
Because
into
all
the
you're
enemy comp.
doing, because all they did was just let Aatrox just run them down. And that's exactly what RAWR wanted you to do. That's exactly what RAWR wanted you to do. They wanted you to fight into them, focus their tanks, so Aatrox can just do Aatrox things. Because like I said before, if Aatrox gets ahead, his lifesteal is insane. Even if you have executioners, even if you have you know and, reduce healing items, it's not going to affect Aatrox as much. It's
If
really not.
he's even or ahead, you need to prioritize healing reduction and peeling him away from your carries. The way Aatrox heals is based on his damage. So if he's able to free hit a Lucian, if he's able to free hit a Kai'Sa, he's going to heal so much, and it doesn't even matter what you're doing because those are the squishies. Those are the ones he's healing off of. So the main thing that they weren't able to do was put that Aatrox behind, so he was able to walk up to the Lucian and Kai'Sa, who both had Kraken Slayer, mind you, and was able to 1v2 them and trade out kills. But then again, it was also a couple micro errors because the Lucian did have his flash up, he also did have Ignite, he had R. They had multiple ways to kill him, but unfortunately,
And
they just refused to
that was the
burn
other thing is
summoners.
that Lucian never burned. Like
Yeah.
there was a time where he had Kai'Sa next to him. He had Flash and Ignite. He might have died, yes, but you would have taken down the Aatrox who had a shutdown gold, and either you or Kai'Sa would have gotten that shutdown gold. And
And
that's exactly what you
overall,
needed.
yes, that is true. That's very true. They did need that, but unfortunately, they weren't able to capitalize on that opportunity. So overall, we did say RAWR had the macro mindset in their heads. They played towards objectives and they won through that. RTR, on the other hand, did draft reasonably well. They just didn't play to their win conditions. So overall, that's why they lost. But if they are able to figure out what happened, work as a team more, have a little bit more synergy, they can definitely win. So what we are going to do is end off tonight. So thank you guys for watching. We will see you all tomorrow for the LRS. Take care.